Hello and welcome to episode. We just said this before the podcast. 179.
There it is.
Episode 179 of the Destiny Community Podcast. Do we have any sponsorship stuff to talk about before? And it's been a while since. Brought to you by Briar Rabbit's Chernobyl cosplay.
Yeah. Well, are we sponsored by Hot Topic by any chance? Do we be? Can we? Can you get us that, Holtz?
It's gonna be a little bit rough.
I saw on Twitter someone just got a sponsorship with Hot Topic. They're actively doing it right now with streamers.
Really?
I think we have a chance. Yeah.
Wait, for real? This is real?
Yeah, for real.
I want a studded belt.
We got the in, man. I mean, this is where you've been. You've been doing you've been on this this journey, this reconnaissance mission of Hot Topic, right?
Yeah, it's hard to get in touch with a Hot Topic corporate though. So I don't know how much reach I'll be able to get, but I'll get back to you. I'll talk to my manager.
Thank you.
Nice, excellent.
Thank you.
TV, welcome back.
Hi, thank you. Good
How you doing, man?
Living the dream.
Nice. Briar, you staying safe?
Trying real hard. I got the whole house on lockdown. I got duct tape around the windows, plastic over the doors.
You're taking iodine, right? Iodine
tablets? Oh yeah. Those suppositories kind of hurt going up though,
Yep, definitely. Yep.
You can just eat. You can put their oral. You can just eat them. Okay, yeah.
Oh,
you keep doing.
You can eat the
suppositories.
suppository.
Your suppositories? Is that what you said?
Just let him think.
Let Brian do his thing.
It's like telling people they can stick their tongue to a pole in the cold and it's not going to stick.
I mean,
and they're like,
yeah.
Yeah, man. It's fine once you're above a certain latitude, it doesn't stick anymore.
It's like how it doesn't feel cold once you get -20. Any colder than that.
Because your nerves have actually died off and you don't feel pain anymore, right?
TV, you live in Arctic Circle, right?
I live in cold, yes.
You can confirm this, right?
Cold is cold, man.
Oh my gosh! Well,
I've done snow blowing in -20. It's cold. Whoever told you that was.
Were you out there long enough to have your nerve endings die off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a reason TV is always drinking.
That's the reason I had kids, because now when it snows, I'm like, all right, kids, here's your shovels. I just stand at the window with a cup of coffee, man, that was terrible.
I was born because we didn't have a TV remote.
Nice. Hey, I got fond memories of shoveling snow. Yeah, I used to live in Minnesota. I had a short window in Minnesota when I was growing up, and it was awesome. I got paid for it.
That's the key to that experience, Stephanie, is it was a short window.
Short window during a great time to be a kid. Riding bikes in a small town, shoveling, raking leaves. I was making money, playing video games. It was awesome. And then
how high did the snow get up there? Because it probably went over your head, right?
Oh yeah. There was some pretty big blizzards at times, and that was the time when I was playing Magic cards too, and it was the Ice Age Magic set.
It was the weather. The weather kept Hefty inside to be a Magic player.
Hell yeah, video games, Magic cards, yeah.
And the cold made him make bad decisions.
Cold makes nerds.
Oh, yeah. It does. You can't go outside. It's too cold. Gotta stay inside.
Yeah. That was
a short joke. We got a lot
to
talk about this week, man.
Clearly.
Reddit is on fire. We got
what happened?
Holy smokes, big old twab. Trials is coming back tomorrow.
There was a Trials article, which Trials is different. It's a little
different. Trials is different, right?
It's a little different. A little bit.
I'll be honest, I actually haven't seen any of the articles today. I haven't even read the TWAB.
Wow. Well, you're in for some news.
I'm
big old news update.
I'm what you call prepared, presidential prepared for this.
I had people read the TWAB and copy and paste it in chat because I had no time to read it.
Okay, nice. So we're kind of on the same page with this stuff.
Wow. I know the important parts.
Okay, yeah. Well, where should we start?
Why don't we talk about the new season a little bit?
Okay. I'm good.
No, don't want to talk about it.
Actually, hold up. Before we get into that, I want to
take long, Tefty.
I want to know, honestly, how's things been, Holtz? How you've been at Bungie, legit. Doing stuff.
We can say past tense was at Bungie. It was.
I don't want to get you into a legal problem here.
You know, I need to be fully clear that I am no longer at Bungie.
No longer.
No
What
longer
did you do?
at Bungie. I was a gameplay tester.
No, I mean, what did you do wrong that you got kicked? No.
Contract ended. It's one of those really pesky things where your contract ends. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, how was it? And yeah, give us the details.
No, it was really good. I started in, I think it was like April of last year.
Almost a year.
Nice.
Yeah, I was there for roughly 10 months. My original contract was supposed to be for 6 months. And then we got extended out for another 4 months.
Was it because you shared your gumbo recipe?
Yeah.
Nice.
I just kept promising I would bring in gumbo, and eventually they had to extend my contract because I hadn't brought it in yet.
And that's why your contract's
like
up.
strats, man.
Got it. I know. And then once I brought the gumbo in, like, they didn't renew my contract.
Unbelievable, man.
Unbelievable.
You share your heart and soul, and then that's what
it had to be worth the 10-month buildup that you gave it. It must not have measured up, you know.
I personally think it was. And the people that tried it, I will go ahead and speak for them, and they definitely say it was as well.
Right now, I'm just picturing that episode of Kevin walking into the office.
Yes. My family has a tradition chili recipe.
Oh, God. If I spilled that gumbo, that would have been a.
It's got the folders. He's scooping it in there. That was you, Holtz, right?
But yeah, like I worked there as a gameplay tester. I was working on Shadowkeep originally, and our team basically kind of evolved over the course while I was there, and we ended up doing something called experiential BVT. BVT stands for build verification test.
It sounded a little horny.
This is not a drug. This isn't.
No.
Okay.
EBVT is not a drug. TVP is textured vegetable protein, which sounds very similar to what I did. So, which is great. You should actually try it if you're trying
kinky.
to be.
Oh yeah. Where do you apply this?
Wait a minute. I got a follow-up question on the textured vegetable protein.
Yes.
Is that protein from a textured vegetable, or is the protein itself textured?
Yeah.
Yes.
Confirmed. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Move on.
Yeah. So like basically my role while I was there was every morning would come in, download the latest builds off the farm, and test them for content. So test them as a player would. And testing is called black box testing or content testing, where we're actually physically playing the content. Versus like white box testing, where like you just have run software checks and make sure everything's firing that way. So
white box,
yeah,
and black box
that was basically my role while I was there, a black box tester.
Okay.
So the game had 0 bugs because of you.
Yeah.
See, Tufty, nothing ever has 0 bugs. No piece of software ever has 0 bugs. We definitely worked hard to make sure there were as little bugs as possible, but there's you can't.
Yeah, of course, yeah. In fact, it's like assumed that the software titles or games always ship with some known bugs because of how long it takes to fix them and all that.
Yeah, that's just a thing. It's like you will ship with bugs. And, all right.
Yeah. Now, before we get into Destiny stuff, just like I know you want to get into game development, like full on, right? Yeah.
I still am pursuing a career in the game industry. Trying to get another contract at Bungie, applying at some other places as well. If you happen to be at a game studio in Seattle and you're hiring for QA test or associate design positions, I can probably fill that role. Ringing endorsement from me myself.
And if you're looking for a mean cup of gumbo, right, or a bowl of gumbo,
I will also bring gumbo. That is not a bribe. I'm just saying I will bring gumbo, and you will definitely like it.
What type of role? Like, are you? This might be hard to answer, but like, where do you? If let's say 5 years down the road, this sounds like an interview, and I don't mean this like an interview, but like, let's say 5 years.
5 years down the road, where do you see yourself?
No, I mean, like, what in game development? There's a crap load of different roles from just from art to audio to game design to like where do you where would you want to see yourself?
I mean,
in a position,
ideally, I want to end up in design. Test is a very important position in game development. It is very much necessary. However, like I want to create, and always being in kind of the testing environment isn't the best place for me, both like mentally and also, to quote Saving Private Ryan, it's a considerable I fucked it up. Whatever. It's a
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Misallocation of valuable resources.
Yeah.
Something like that. Wow, that really makes me sound not the best.
That sounds like you've been testing some things. Mart.
Yeah, no, I enjoy testing though. It is really fun when you get to do kind of the content side, play stuff, give feedback, and be part of the design process in that manner. And I definitely want to just eventually transition to actual design.
Nice. That's cool, man.
Good luck.
Yeah, definitely good luck with that.
Yeah.
How has it been working at like a studio of Bungie's caliber for a year and having that perspective?
I thought I knew what it was like to make games when I was there during my first contract, but I definitely only got kind of a surface level glance at it because we were kind of kept back a little bit at arm's length to make sure our feedback wasn't, tainted at all from knowing too much about game development, like about the process. And now that I've been in the trenches, so to speak, it's like, wow.
I think everyone always just says it's a miracle that a game ever gets out the door.
Yeah,
that's how it feels constantly.
As Jason Schreier said that. Yeah,
that's wild.
Once you get close to it, you're like, how the hell do you even make it? I don't understand how this even happens.
Yeah. So it's just like just learning all the stuff that went into like my testing position. It's like, wait, we have to do how much stuff? And we have this much time? Oh fuck, okay. Let's go.
Yeah, deadlines, crunch time and all that. Or not necessarily crunch, but
but Bungie is fortunately they've structured the studio in such a way that really cuts down on a lot of crunch. I personally never experienced it while I was there.
That's cool.
The only times I worked over 40 hours a week were where I like voluntarily put in that time, and that was maybe like 5 or 6 weeks out of my contract. I worked over 45 hours.
Gotcha.
So
yeah,
or over 40 hours. Yeah.
Nice. So with your newfound knowledge, what class are you going to start with in Destiny 3?
Oh, jeez. When you phrase it like that.
Yeah, you going back to gunslinger? What's the
plan? What was your favorite of the new classes in Destiny 3?
There's a crawfish-based subclass coming.
Oh, nice.
I really just
crawfish elements, and
15 pounds.
That's the name of the perk. 15 pounds.
Yeah, that would be a good.
Like, I think Holtzmann designed this. He's like, wait, how did this ship? We don't have any documentation on this. Just put it in there.
That's great. Well, we do have a lot to talk about for Season of the Worthy.
Cool. Yeah.
We should get into it.
Yeah, there's a lot.
What do you guys want to start with?
First question, I want to say, Briar, have you played it?
Yes, I have.
It's always in my chat.
I was worried about that.
Does Briar know there's a new season?
Yeah, I played quite a bit on Tuesday. I played a little bit yesterday and played, I don't know, about 4 hours today.
That's pretty good.
Wow, yeah, you have been playing.
Proud of you.
Yeah.
And I felt like I had pretty much, aside from light level grind, I had pretty much seen everything I needed or I could see right now.
Yeah.
In like the first couple hours.
Did you level up your bunker to 3 and start making auto rifles?
I ran some public events and got bored and started playing PvP.
Okay, yeah.
So the thing that I have not gotten yet that I'm excited about is being able to get the Seraph Weapons and getting the mods with the Seraph Weapons. Because if you go on Reddit right now, there's someone who has posted a Reddit thread, and they posted like screenshots and videos of what those actually do. So with the Seraph Weapons and with the mods, when you get a kill with the Seraph Weapon, it drops like a war mine cell. And when you destroy a war mine cell, it has different kind of perks that
that's
it
cool.
does when you destroy it. And it's pretty insane what it can do.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna I'll read you the ones that I have so far. So
what is a Warmind cell exactly?
It's like this red ball.
Yeah, it's a red ball.
And is that going to drop when you kill enemies?
Yep. Yeah, so this says defeating a combatant with a 7th Seraph weapon has a chance to drop a Warmind cell. And then when you destroy a Warmind cell, this one creates a burst of solar energy that causes enemies to burn. There's another one where you take reduced damage from enemies that are near Warmind cells. Damaging a Warmind cell creates a burst of suppressing void energy, and you deal less damage to Warmind cells. So there's a lot of really cool ones, like bonus weapon damage when you're near a Warmind cell. Destroying Warmind cell creates a burst of healing for you and your allies.
This is combined with your weapons and your armor, right? You have to have both equipped, and they work together to make these.
So Brian, like say, you have to have the Seraph weapons, and like when you kill something with this, it'll have a chance to drop this ball on the ground, and that ball will have various effects on it.
Yep.
Oh, the ball itself has various effects.
Ball,
you can't.
The ball itself.
You can't spec your character.
No, there's mods.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Your mods dictate what the ball does.
Right. So the ball doesn't have various effects. Your mods are.
Your mods affect what the ball does when you.
Those mods are actually on your armor, right?
Yes. Correct.
Right. So they sync up. You have to have both equipped, the weapon and the armor.
The weapon and the armor mod.
Right.
Yep.
That's kind of cool. That's the first time we've seen an integration between weapons and armor to like combine to sync up. I mean, we haven't used it yet, right? But it seems cool on the surface of it.
It's another kind of element in like the PvE sandbox that people that we haven't really experienced, where you kill something and then it drops a useful object. Normally it's just ammo or orbs of light, but this actually has some real-time gameplay effect.
Is this only going to be for the season, or is it going to continue on past the season?
I don't know. If the mods stay active and that Seraph weapon thing stays, I assume that it would stay. But yeah, I'm not sure.
I haven't tried this yet. Just to clarify, how exactly does the Warmind cell drop then? Is if you're using a weapon with the mod on a kill?
You have to use a Seraph weapon.
Yep.
And when you get kills with that Seraph weapon, the combatant that you kill has a chance to drop the ball. And then when you shoot that ball to destroy it, what happens when you destroy it is dictated by what mods are on your armor. Right? Yeah.
Cool. That's awesome. Yep. I would love to see
Have
that.
any of you guys gotten any of the the auto rifle yet or anything? It's good. It's a really good AR. Yeah.
Nice.
Seems like all ARs are pretty good ARs right now.
So 450s are still kind of like but like 720s, 900s, like oh yeah,
no, ooh.
Oh yeah.
I'm not an auto rifle person. I'm like hand cannon my entire history, but I've been using auto rifles. A bunch, and they're good.
Yeah, I played some Crucible today, and hard light is everywhere. Everybody's loving on the hard light right now.
Hard light is around.
It's pretty nasty. Yeah.
Turns out when you remove basically over the 6 years of hard light's existence, they've been like, we're gonna buff the stability. We're gonna add more stability. It has 100% stability on it, and then there's more stability somehow.
More stability.
It's like, but what if we remove the screen shake?
How about no damage drop off?
Just absolute chaos and pandemonium now.
Yeah.
My favorite version of the hard light to date was actually the way it shipped with D1. It didn't shoot laser beams. If you guys remember this, it shot these little balls like gyrospheres of like white light. And it was real like plasma. Thuddy. It was like real thuddy. It was kind of I guess the way I describe it. I love really that
deep bass associated.
Yeah,
with it.
Yeah. I loved it. It felt like a real brawler weapon. It was so cool. I was so sad when they changed it.
Reminds you of like the plasma gun in Doom.
Yeah.
Because it feels like you're shooting plasma.
It felt more like some kind of goop was coming out of it to me.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be like physical light. I think that's what it was actually shooting out.
Yeah. So I've used hard light in PvP.
Yep.
That no damage drop off is kind of ridiculous.
It's real good.
Yeah.
It's a little crazy.
There's an entire race in PlanetSide 2 called the Vanu, and they use alien technology. Every single class has race has their own like specific thing with their guns. Like one class is like, oh, our stuff is really fast rate of fire. Others, oh, ours is really slow rate of fire. And in a game that has a sandbox of Battlefield, this Vanu race, they have no bullet drop. and it always does 100% damage. So it's like, oh, that's really fucking good. And
yeah, that seems good.
Yeah, and it turns out in Destiny, it's also really good.
Still good.
Still really good. And then when you add in like the ricochet damage, like you don't really
the double
notice
damage.
it. The ricochet damage is like double damage.
That's pretty nutty.
Yeah,
Ugh.
people are using that ricochet too. I mean,
yeah.
doing a lot of
getting
firing, doing a lot of shooting around corners, bouncing around corners, and it kills you. It does a lot of damage.
It does.
It's really fun shooting the floor if somebody's straight lining you. You see a Titan trying to shoulder charge, and you've got very limited time. Instead of just shooting them in the head, shoot the floor.
Yeah,
right in front.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, it burns them so fast. It's so cool.
Yeah, it was funny. I started off using the Suros, just trying out, auto rifles, and I was like, damn, the Suros is back. This thing is legit. And then I switched to the hard light. I was like, oh no.
You gotta throw that Suros away. Like,
yeah. We don't talk to Suros anymore.
It has been crazy going into both PvE and PvP and seeing a lot of auto rifles getting used, like Monte Carlo, Suros, hard light, Tommy's matchbook. Like,
I really like that gun.
Been seeing a lot of them.
Yeah. Really good
stuff.
stuff.
Tommy's matchbook is pretty fun. Like I really enjoy using that gun. Like it feels pretty unique. I really like the effect of it, how it burns you. Like it does more damage over time, but it's also taking damage off of you. It's burning you at the same time. It's got a cool look to it. It's got a cool feel to it. I like that gun.
Yeah. It's nice also. It doesn't actually reduce your health. It only takes your shield away, which is good.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a limit to how much it can hurt you. That's good.
So you definitely can't die from it, but it will strip your shield. And then it'll continually keep your shield off. I think Hardlight it's amazing seeing people ask for nerfs already for a gun
on day 2.
We never, but for Hardlight specifically.
For Hardlight.
Yeah.
You never thought you'd see people being like,
actually tweeted about it.
Yeah. Hardlight needs a
never
nerf.
Thought I'd see somebody ask for a Hardlight nerf.
It's hilarious. My plan is to take Revoker with Hardlight into the trials.
That's probably going to be the play.
That's
probably it.
Is trials report still a thing? Or like those websites?
That's probably going to be
I was curious about that. Yeah, I was wondering if Destiny Trials Support would boot their service back up.
Yeah. I just remember that after the end of every weekend, like going there and going like, oh my god, fucking Mida Uriel's gift is the top combination of things. Like, we need to nerf them.
Hardlight is definitely going to be popular this weekend. Are you guys like how hyped on a scale of 1 to 10? How hyped are you guys for trials tomorrow?
12.
Yeah.
12.
I'm still in a kind of state of disbelief of not believing it's actually back and that it's going to be smooth and I'm going to play it and I'm going to get rewards and it's going to be cool. It's still because it's just been gone for so long.
Yeah.
We've been playing a Destiny that has no trials for incredibly long. There's probably more players that haven't played it than have.
Yeah, my son's never played it.
Yeah. I'm so excited for it to get out there, hopefully in a really good state like it was in D1 and have all these new people who have never experienced trials. I'm really excited.
Yeah. Yeah. I assume there's a lot of people that just started with New Light and they're about to get their first taste of trials, and that's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
It is definitely.
Hopefully they've leveled up their light.
Yeah.
It's going to be important.
All right. I want to talk about that a little bit.
Playlist.
So with the new season, we got one of the coolest friggin' cutscenes I think I've ever seen in Destiny. I was really into it.
It was awesome.
Seeing Zavala and Anna Bray, like seeing Zavala out of the tower and fighting and doing cool stuff, man. It was really cool. But like the new season story sequence, did it last an hour? Like until you were like confronted with running public events?
No.
No.
About 20 minutes, maybe.
20 minutes. Like you run a couple of missions. You're shown kind of the new Warmind pit, and you're and then without very much explanation, you're kind of set on your own to kind of figure out how to unlock, the Warmind situation. Like there's really not a lot of instruction. Like how do you actually get these weapons out of the Warmind? How do you actually use these bits that you're collecting?
Yeah.
And they do kind of point you in the right direction for this new public event that is honestly a pretty fun public event, but it is a public event. And it's like, well, now you've got to level up. You want to level up to 1,000. So, back to Strikes, Gambit, and Crucible to get your power rewards. Have fun. And it was kind of, after seeing that amazing cutscene and like that awesome first 20 minutes of gameplay, like I was so into it. I was like, oh, here we go. Here we go. Yeah. Oh, shit. I don't know. Am I off base here? Did you guys feel the same? Did you feel differently?
No, this DLC definitely like hits you with the. It's like you're like, oh yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for like campaign. You know, I did the public event. All right, where's like that next mission? And it's like,
Bounties.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. Like I was ready to go to the Almighty and start fighting. You know, I was ready to do something. Like it was so exciting.
It was like, get back to the EDZ, Guardian.
Yeah,
we've got things we got to do.
I do like that new public event. What do you guys think of the new public event?
I like it. I think it's fun. I like that you can spawn like your little buddies come help you. It's just really,
that is really cool.
It's really amusing to just see them like come.
The heavy frames,
big robot boys coming out ready to fight. But yeah, I've enjoyed it personally. I think it doesn't take a super long time. You can kind of hop in there, you can farm it and get some stuff that you need, and
it's been really great for me since I was under the soft cap still. So like I just ran the public event a bunch, and
nice.
It gave me a ton of blues, and I was like, all right, great.
Yeah, it does give you a ton of blues, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is nice if you're under the, like just like you said.
It's good for Patrick.
If you're under the, I was under the soft cap too, so it did the same for me.
I don't remember on the roadmap. Was there going to be a like a elite version, heroic version of the Seraph Towers later on that gets released?
I don't remember.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, because a lot of people were saying, "Oh, this is going to be Escalation Protocol 2.0," and there's elements of it, but it's definitely not. Right? Like
it's not as difficult, no.
Yeah, it's not as difficult and doesn't have as many phases and changes and all that.
Yeah.
I really like the fact that they're embracing all these aspects of the patrol space and changing them freely, willingly to change up areas and all that. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
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 I think that's what I'd like to see more. Obviously, you know, Luke Smith talked about wanting to do stuff like that, but we're not going to see it immediately, right? Because he just talked about it. But this is the kind of thing that I would like to see. But I'd like to see, you know, maybe they add some strike-specific loot as well to some of the strikes that are in the game. And then they add something that's happening in the world, like this type of public event, or go even further and make it really difficult world events. So I do like that they are doing that, because that's what I would prefer to see rather than just throw away sundials and those kind of activities.
Yeah.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, because this will stick around, right? Like this will still be there. Well, theoretically, will it still be there a couple of seasons from now, or will this go away?
Seraph Tower activity?
Tower.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
No, I think it'll go away. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
it'll go away.
It's unfortunate, actually.
That's unfortunate, because it's kind of like, you know, just like leave
like
it
an extra public event.
Yeah.
It's interesting on that stuff. I mean, I know that's part of the problem is that they can't just keep on growing that stuff and leave it in the game and forever have to deal with it when they introduce new things into the system to account for bugs and all that. But at the same time, it's sad to see interesting things get added and then left behind. It's why we say like strikes are really cool to keep on adding, because you end up running a lot of strikes every season. Right. So why not have more strikes getting added? Up your
character, which brings you right back to strike.
That's the thing. If they keep going with this type of theme of stuff, it makes much more sense for them to dump a bunch of resources into the activities we're going to keep doing, adding an armor set, adding strike-specific loot, adding weapons, whatever it is, than to keep doing brand new activities, because we're going to be going through the older content to level up to do the new content, but then we're also getting new stuff from doing the old content. Mm-hmm. So I think if they're going to stick with this way of doing things, it would make more sense to do that.
Yeah.
And I'd be totally fine with that.
Same, yeah. One thing I've been pleasantly surprised about is seeing all these faction gear dropping from engrams. Initially, when we talked about it, it was like, oh no, that loot pool is going to be so diluted. Jesus. And then I started seeing stuff dropping, and I'm like, this is great. This is like, I wanted to see new things drop from engrams that I always see, instead of seeing the same edge transit, Terran wind,
absolutely.
You know?
And there's some great weapons in that pool for sure from the faction rallies.
There is, yeah.
Dire Promise.
Dire Promise with random rolls is so nice. Enigma's Jaw is a pretty solid kinetic sidearm. The True Prophecy, you get that opening shot, time payload roll. Ooh, that's pretty tasty. There's a lot of good stuff. My only disappointment though is that the armor can't have seasonal mods on it.
Oh, I don't know if that's a bug, but it feels like a bug, right? Or just like a massive oversight.
Because they have the seasonal icon on them, right?
Because I got one to drop at 65 stat value, and I was like, heck yeah! And then I saw a slot, and I was like, mother fudge.
Yep. Yeah, I feel like I don't know how easy that would be to patch. I feel like it's something that's possible, but that is a huge shame, and it should definitely not be that way because we're getting all of this armor from Prime engrams now, which is dropping at a decent stat roll. And it just seems wrong, It just doesn't seem like that was a decision that was supposed to be made.
Although it seems like that was being added into the general loot pool. Like the general engrams are getting that stuff.
Yeah.
Prime engrams, as opposed to like something that you do from a Seraph Tower or something like that. So it's
something I'd like to see patched though, for sure. Because otherwise it's kind of useless besides infusion fuel.
I agree. Yeah. So I'll be honest about how I feel with the seasonal stuff. It's like Briar said, how you get this really cool cutscene and you're ready to go crack some skulls, and it's like, get your bounties on, and that gameplay loop really slows down.
It does, yeah.
It's like you've been doing that stuff a lot in Destiny, and then it's do more of that stuff. It's not as bad as some people have been saying on Reddit and all that, because you're technically playing Destiny, and there is new things to try out, and there is new weapons in the loot pool to go and grab. But I definitely understand the mixed feelings about it right now. It feels very incomplete without the feeling of Trials being there just yet. Like I feel like Trials is that counterpoint to this is the PvE seasonal stuff, and then let's bring in Trials to balance some of this. So I feel very mixed about it.
That's what kept me playing, Tefty, is the only reason I was played yesterday and today after I kind of finished the story stuff and saw what the season had to offer was because, I want to level up to 960 to make sure I'm ready for Trials.
Yeah. That first day, I was more interested in trying stuff out in the Crucible, and I forgot that I had to level up on day one. I was like, oh yeah, I have to get powerful for Trials.
Oh yeah, right. Trials.
I'm so 14 done. Tells you, doesn't he? Doesn't he tell you that you need to level up?
You're not as part of the quest, like it says reach 960 light.
Yeah.
So yeah, but like if you were at I think Pinnacle Cap of last season, it's like okay, you're already there. So,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. I guess my thought process was I'm not really interested in going and chasing those powerfuls that I've already done. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like
I'm right there with you. Like I stopped playing after like the first week of Shadowkeep because, well, just the work-life balance of literally playing Destiny all day at work and then coming home and then having to play Destiny is like, no, I can't.
Yeah.
It's
a little overload.
Understandable.
Yeah, there's too much of it. And like when I started trying to level again this time, I was like, God, I'm just done. Like it's been 6 years of grinding power for like the same end goal, you know. It's like the bar gets raised every season, but we're still doing the same things there, and it's like I don't know. I'm just not focusing on it anymore. It will happen, but it's also a frustration because it's this weird barrier where the heroic law sectors are at a fucking thousand light, and all right, I'm at 970 right now. Okay, well let's go do this. Maybe in 3 more weeks it'll be easier for me unless I really get my grind on.
But even then, you could definitely do those heroic legendary lost sectors at 970.
Oh yeah, no, I've already done. I just had to have to bring in the full fire team. Just get some friends in. Ares helped me out. I had leopard stealth come in.
The thing that seems completely paced out is the Grandmaster Nightfall. Like that's obviously not going to be plausible at 970. Well, I mean, maybe it is, but like it just seems like that is definitely going to require like
that thing
110 or 1010 or higher.
That thing's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I'm with you, Holtz. I feel the same way. It's like I would like to be excited about the light chase, but at this point in the life cycle of the game, it's definitely secondary for me. Yeah,
I think that's fair.
My problem isn't the light chase itself. It's that we've been on the same loop to get light, exactly the same loop
basically
for 3 years.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, they added Gambit, and now it's been about a year and a half since, you know, it's been run 3 to 5 strikes, run, you know, depending on which season of Gambit it was, 4 to 7 Gambit matches, you know, then run 5 Crucible matches or 3 Crucible matches, you know, whatever. And it's like, it's just this loop that you just go through, and then okay, move all my weapons over, do it on the next character.
Yeah, it's, you do it every single week until you're at the cap, and then you're like, all right, I'm not doing all this anymore because now it's the age old thing from World of Warcraft. It's like, well, what do we do now? It's like, now we just play the game, man.
And that's where not getting new strikes really hurts, because you're literally doing the same strikes you've done since the game launched.
Can I just point out what just happened right there? We just had a World of Warcraft reference.
A WoW reference.
Oh,
we just had
it. God damn it!
How long
it's been so long to have the cherished, tried and true WoW reference.
Casually slipping in the WoW reference. You didn't even notice.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, so I think we're all like, we're feeling that in terms of the light grind. The light grind is definitely kind of, it's worn itself out for that.
We've all been playing this game since like the beta of D1, and some even longer than that. So like, I'm wondering if this is just we've been doing this for 6 years and we're really tired of leveling, or if this is literally just if this is a systemic problem that every single type of player is kind of experiencing this. Like, are the people that just kind of started getting into it with like new light, are they also like, wow, I'm having to level up a lot now? Or
I can honestly say, Holtz, I never minded it when a new season or we got a DLC and it came along with 6 hours of story content. And by the time you got through that story content, you know, you had leveled up to basically the soft cap. You know what I mean? Like, that to me was a great way of doing it. Obviously that's a ton of work to make 6 hours of story content for every DLC, but it was really rewarding, like right at the beginning, to get all this new content. All that stuff usually came with a couple of strikes that got put into the strike pool, some missions that went into the daily story mission pool. So like that stuff got refreshed, and like you kind of had this like whole, you know, this kicked off the new season, or it wasn't called a season then, but it's like this kicked off the new season of Destiny, and whatever that story was about, you know, that was the year. But you know, on the opposite side of that is what we didn't get was stuff kind of drip feeding throughout the season.
We got one giant injection of content, and then a lot of
then you wait
dead space,
Which really wasn't even that giant. Like, let's be honest, the story took like an hour. It was never Destiny never had these like giant things every time they put out a DLC. We had like the September release, which was always big, but it was never a huge giant thing where you would do in like a 6-hour campaign. And you could, if you took your time, you'd be taking like 2 hours throughout a campaign. Well, and then you'd be stuck.
I remember Rise of Iron being super short.
Yeah.
Rise of Iron was really
Rise of Iron was super short.
It was like 45 minutes.
Taken King though.
Taken King was a September release.
Yeah.
That's not like, I'm not talking about, I'm talking about like Crota and House of Wolves, and like those are, because we're still getting our big September releases. We're just having, instead of having like Crota coming out and House of Wolves, we're having these seasons. That's the change that we've had.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a generalization, but maybe from the perspective of content creators, the seasonal drip feed is like wearing, you know, it kind of degrades the experience from a content creator perspective. But for a casual player, I think it's really great, because you can just grab, you know, you can play a bit, jump in, bounce out, and come back next week, get a little bit. I don't know. That's
something new to do.
I think it's the opposite. I think it's great for content creators because you always got something to talk about. But for a casual player, it's wearing, because like, all right, I've got my game in time. Should I play like the hour worth of this week's Destiny stuff, or, you know, really get involved in something for 4 or 5 hours? Like, my problem with Destiny right now is that when you log in, there's always something you could do, but it's always really short. It's like, okay, there's a new step of the exotic quest that I can do this week, or there's, you know, there's this new seasonal event that, the next boss unlocked on. So we're going to go fight the next boss. Oh, okay. It's just a different looking version of the old boss. We killed him. I got my rewards.
Yeah.
Like it's not a satisfying gameplay loop for me, because it's always just these little tiny pieces of content. It's like I never get to like sit down and really like enjoy, 4 hours of new content with Destiny.
Right.
See, Season of Opulence. I got to experience that with Season of Opulence, like for the first time, basically in a very long time. I got to experience a season, not make content for it, and just play it for the sake of playing it. And I really enjoyed Opulence because of like the kind of the drip feed. Like I hadn't experienced the content before, because like while that was out, I was working on Shadowkeep, so like I just would log in every week, maybe every 2 weeks. It's like, oh cool, there's some new sort of thing to do. I'm gonna work on this for a little bit. Awesome. Yeah, I don't know. I personally really enjoyed it, but
I personally really like this season. For the first time as a PvP player, I have bounties that I can do in PvP and PvE. I don't have to spend 99.9% of my time doing content that I don't mind doing, but I would prefer to just be in the Crucible. Yeah. But now I have all these bounties that I can go into the Crucible and I can complete, and I can go pick up more Crucible bounties, more bunker bounties, and I can go back in and complete it. I've never had that option before.
Yeah. The Warmind bounties are really nice, where it gives you 2 options to actually.
Or
it is really nice.
Yeah, that was really nice.
Or do a rumble match and you're done.
That's right. Yeah, because it was like yesterday. It was one was like defeat a taken boss or play a rumble match, something like that. And I was like, I'm playing rumble.
Yeah, I'm gonna play rumble.
Done. Give me those bits.
I was like, oh, there's a bunch of these that are involving with Taken. I'm gonna go run some Taken Lost sectors real quick. All right.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I agree. Those kind of options have been really nice. I'm a little disappointed though, because it felt like they were building up to this like renewed focus on PvP, and I know that's kind of become a meme in the community about renewed focus and all that. But Trials is obviously a big thing that's coming. That's gonna shake things up in terms of what's available for PvP. But do you guys feel like this season the PvP landscape is in a good spot?
Well, on Steam, there's now the IP protection. I think that is a huge portion of having a focus on PvP, because that's not an easy thing for any company to do, to be like setting all that up. It's a whole different infrastructure. It's setting up the deal with Steam to be able to even do that. It's a big thing. And I think that the changes
like
that
that
came
going
to
on
Crucible,
console, or is it just for PC?
It's just for PC.
It's just using Steam servers.
So DDoSing will still be an issue on the console.
I got DDoS today. That's how my stream ended. Playing count.
Yeah, if you are on console, you need a VPN now, because it's actually more prevalent on console anyway, because it's the only thing they can do. I know we just discussed that before. Whereas on PC, you can cheat. You can do a bunch of stuff on PC. You don't have to DDoS. But I think the changes to like weapons and subclasses and stuff have been cool for PvP. I mean, we can see that the meta has kind of shifted quite heavily with what people are using. I think we did get pigeonholed into Revoker being the choice for sniper, which I think is really unfortunate. But I don't feel like they're necessarily not focusing on PvP. I think they've done a lot of things to really set the foundation of PvP up with Trials and the IP protection. And
so I'll give an example
that they did to sound.
Actually, TV, go for it. I want to hear your thoughts.
I was just gonna say, I mean, since they made that claim about renewed focus, as somebody who like lives and breathes PvP, I feel that. I mean, a lot of people throw a lot of shade at that statement, but I mean, we got like complete new subclass reworks, like from the ground up. Like the way Top Tree Dawnblade plays now is completely something that was tailor made for PvP.
Yeah,
I love it. We got a lot of subclass reworks. We got some we got some sandbox updates. We've got the meta shift now that's happened with this season. We had some buffs and nerfs here and there along the way, and all that leading up to the Trials experience. I've loved PvP in the past probably 6 months more than I've ever loved it in Destiny 2.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Interesting. I guess from my perspective, it's tough to see them having that like renewed focus on PvP when things are clearly outliers in the sandbox and stay that way for a long time. I mean, we finally just now had Third Eye Mask. The Titan Mask.
One Eye, yeah.
One Eye Mask. One Eye Mask.
Give it more eyes.
You got 3 people can be highlighted now. The entire enemy team is highlighted. Like that finally got nerfed after a long time.
But this is like its third nerf.
Yeah, it was nerfed. It was nerfed before.
It
just
nerfed
wasn't
twice
nerfed in the right way.
Yeah, but it was like these gradual little baby nerfs, and then you got things like heavy ammo. Like I know you shouldn't completely remove heavy ammo from PvP, but there's a huge amount of heavy ammo that still exists in a game, like especially for comp. Like why?
When did they rework the heavy ammo? I feel like that was somewhat recently.
Shadowkeep. But then even after that, when Elimination shipped and everyone was like, there's too much heavy in Elim, like it's way too much. It was a week later, it was gone.
Yeah.
It was down to 1 round.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in Shadowkeep is when they cut the amount of heavy ammo you pick up from the box by quite a hefty amount, where you pick up a heavy machine gun and someone can get like 2 kills and they're done.
All right.
Which wasn't the case before.
Yeah. For me, it's like it's mixed. They're definitely making changes. They're making progress. And the whole Steam thing with the changing the sockets so you can't get DDoS on PC, that's huge. That's an enormous step, especially for trials.
Yeah, definitely.
But also, fundamentally, the game needs it. Like, you just got DDoS, TV. Like, that's crazy. Playing comp. So, on trials trials tomorrow, what are the chances that somebody on console is going to get DDoSed?
I mean, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. But to put it into perspective, I got DDoS today, but the last time, and this is from somebody who literally plays like 40 hours of PvP every week. The last time I got DDoSed was, I don't know, maybe 2 months ago.
The script kiddies are warming up for the weekend.
I mean, yeah, it was unfortunate it happened today, but it was the first time in a while, and I play a ton of comp. So, I mean, obviously it's going to happen in trials because there's more on the line.
Yeah.
You just got to expect that it's going to happen. I don't know. Hopefully it won't be as much of an issue if people start getting banned and then it's like, man, if I have to make a whole new account and then I got to level up again and power levels enabled. You know what I mean? Like DDoSing in Iron Banner isn't as popular. Power levels enabled, there's a little bit more of a risk there.
Sure.
You can't just hop right back into it with a new account.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Holtz, how do you feel about PvP?
I was just gonna say that like Bungie clearly wants to do something about this. They can't just shed out $5 bajillion to get dedicated servers across the board for everything.
Sure.
And I think,
do they need a loan? I got a little extra pocket money. Maybe I can look in the couch cushions.
Government has a couple government
but it's also down to like down to Sony and Xbox as well, being like, yeah, sure, we will let you go through Steam servers on console. We'll let you use that. It's down to a lot of things. So I hope that they can figure out something for console. But I was glad to see this because it kind of showed that Bungie's been working on this for a while. They know it's a problem and they want to try and make it better.
Yeah. So Holtz, I want to know from your perspective, because you've always been really big in PvP. How do you feel about the current sandbox and I guess that whole thing about renewed focus on PvP?
Oh, as far as like the sandbox, like we've literally had this conversation every single meta of a sandbox, and it's like, oh, it's just not in a good place. There's always going to be outliers. There's always going to be outliers. If it Revoker is the big thing right now. It's like, oh, it completely breaks it. Okay, if Revoker didn't exist, you'd be complaining about Beloved. Everyone in their God roll Beloveds.
Yeah,
like it.
Spare Rations, Mindbenders was last season.
Everyone has access to the outliers. Like you can all still go get all of these things. So in an investment game, great, you're going to go get this now. So you can use it. I don't know. I'm just not when it comes to like meta talks and stuff, it's like just I'm over it.
You're unsympathetic.
As like just roll with it, man. Like just roll with it. Like, oh, auto rifles a new hotness. Great. Gonna use auto rifles now. I'm tired of the old we always have to use hand cannon, shotgun, or sniper, and then like machine gun, and like that's
hand cannons are still good. I felt good with the hand cannon still.
Yeah,
I just
they didn't get nerfed.
I just yell at them. I'm like, oh gosh, Dad, put your spare asses away, and then I'm like,
Dire Promise is really good.
I'm
I had a crappy Dire Promise, and it like felt great.
Great new weapon that you can maybe get. I don't know. It's. I'm playing the game to have fun. I'm going to use what's fun. Sometimes what I want to use that's fun happens to be the meta. Cool.
Right.
Sometimes I want to put on a light show and kill people.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
So I agree with the sandbox right now. I think it's in a really good spot. Like in the shake-up with Hardlight, I know Hardlight's going to get old eventually, but the shake-up with the Hardlight. I think it's actually really interesting to see that, and I've had fun trying out different stuff in the sandbox. It's the fundamental problem though still exists that once SBMM kicks in and the connections get stretched, there is oftentimes one or two people on the other team that just don't take damage. And it's really unfortunate because when you lose consistency in a PvP experience, that's when you start losing interest in how those weapons perform. Because it's like, oh, this gun was dominating this gun was dominating the previous match. Every time I shot somebody in the face, it registered. And then the next match, there's like half the team is avoiding all the bullets. You know, it's a weird experience, and it happens a lot in Destiny.
Yeah.
Are you talking more from a perspective of somebody who plays a lot of quick play, or are you talking more from like a comp playing perspective?
It was happening in both for me. I was playing both comp and quick play. Also, I play nighttime on the West Coast, which I know is notoriously a poor time.
It sounds like you're having.
I know my 1,000 down, 1,000 up, 1 millisecond fiber optic internet is just not cutting.
You're not getting everything you're paying for.
Nice flex.
What else do they offer over there, Tefty?
I've been trying to get a 2 gig package, but they won't give it to me, man.
Can you spare some to me? Can you like beam some of that over to me? Or like 15 up, 30 down. Still $90 a month for that.
I'm just saying my problems with this stuff usually are not the sandbox. Like I understand the outliers and all that. It's like a consistency when it comes to match quality. And I know that like the majority of people don't have problems with these things. But when you start getting interested in performance on it, I feel like you see a lot of these problems crop up in it.
Yeah, I mean, we've been saying that since year 1 in PvP?
I mean, said it in Call of Duty 6 years before I started playing Destiny.
There you go.
It's an online shooter. You're always going to have connection issues.
That's what it is. I've accepted it at that point.
You guys want to talk about the TWAB a little bit?
We got the TWAB and the Trials article to go through.
TWAB Trials article. It feels like we would be remiss to not talk about what's been going on Reddit. Like there's a pretty substantial backlash to this.
You don't say.
I'm going to be straight up. I'll be straight up with you. I have literally not looked at Reddit, so I don't know what the major
I would
things
recommend
are.
not to. Because you know what was really sad, actually? I saw someone, it was a comment on Twitter, and they were like, I hadn't played the season yet. I went on Reddit to see what was going on. Everyone was saying it was the worst season ever. Everything is wrong. It's terrible. Bungie dropped the ball. The game is over. We're all dead. So it really tarnished this person's experience with the season. Sure. But then they were like, I actually like it, and I'm really sad that I let that get to me. And I was like, that's a real shame that this person genuinely is actually having a good time. But then they were like, it completely got tarnished by what Reddit said. It was just something that I saw. I mean,
full disclosure, been playing this expansion a lot, so wasn't exactly having the best sense of time. That's basically because I've been playing it for a very long time. So I was kind of like, all right, I'm going through the motions now. But it was a little disappointing to go on Reddit and see like a pretty large backlash. But for me, there are some key points to the backlash that ended up getting discussed in the TWAB, but like there's absolutely reason that people should be angry about losing their tracking stuff on emotes. It's an investment game.
The emblem thing for sure.
On their emblems. It's like, oh yeah, people that like did 1 million Fractaline last season, gone. And
I wear Public Defender. All my heroic public events are gone.
Yeah. So
I was pissed about that.
That's, like Yeah, I can't tell if you're joking or not.
I'm serious. I flexed the public defender. I flex it, man.
Like honestly, there are people that are like, I have really enjoyed doing this, and the thing that I was doing in the game just got reset.
At the least, they should have told us this was coming.
Yeah.
Right. And they should have warned us.
Well, man.
This should not be a reactionary issue. It is, the data is still being saved though, correct? Like your stats haven't been reset. If I read this correctly,
talk about it in the TWAB. So
Yeah.
let me pull that up here real quick.
But I believe your stats actually haven't been reset, and they are going to institute new ways of showing those stats, and they'll be cumulative to what you've already done. So it's not like your stats are gone. It's just that they're not being shown on your emblems like they were.
Right.
Which they should have got ahead of.
Oh,
honestly. Yeah. Anytime you're going to take anything away, you should always get ahead of that and
Right.
explain A, why you're taking it away, and B, what you're going to do.
What the purpose is, what the goal is.
Yeah.
In the TWAB, there's a section called tracker tracking, which we might as well read because it's very
it's relevant to right now.
In the Season of the Worthy, all emblems have been converted to use our new stat trackers. That means all emblems will be inspectable and can have trackers equipped or not. When designing the system, our overall goal is to provide players more ways and options to show off their accomplishments. Our first selection of stats were determined by prioritizing stats that represented a skill that could be improved week over week or season over season and be an accomplishment that players would want to display and was meaningful to other players. Because of that, some stats that couldn't be completed or improved any longer weren't included. We believe in these requirements in principle, but strictly applying them retroactively unfairly remove your ability to show off accomplishments that you could flaunt in seasons prior. It was a change made with good intention, but was the wrong way to roll out a new system. We've identified some stats that can be added back in a future patch and wanted to share them with you. We are currently planning to add these stat trackers back in an update later this season.
So I was wrong. Not all the stats have been saved.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Sounds like it, yeah.
So there's one more paragraph at the bottom. This after the list, it's basically like kills as subclass, lifetime, season 8 pass or season pass ranks, Fractalane donated will be buffed back again. Crucible gold medals, longest glory wins, total valor resets, destinations like Pit of Heresy, solo flawless completions. Like
this is a huge stumble.
Yeah. The list isn't complete yet, and we plan to add it before the update is released. As a note, none of these stats that were previously tracked have been lost. We're still storing them all.
Okay.
Some stats would take a bit more work to return to the fold, and we'd love to see more player feedback to help us prioritize which you'd like to return to the future. Feel free to sound off on Bungie.net forums, DTG subreddit, or even Twitter. We have eyes everywhere.
Okay, well, that's good to know that they can bring everything back. It's just some take a little bit more digging. Okay.
Well, there you go. It sucks that it was rolled out this way, but if they're going to be able to restore all or the majority, then that's great.
Yeah. There's definitely going to be players that maybe what they like tracking was just a super small thing, and that never never kind of gets on the radar, so to speak, to get added back in, and like that kind of sucks.
I could see somebody being like loving however many patrols or something that they've done, and then they log in, see that's been erased, that they would.
I mean, that could be game quitting.
Yeah, game quitting. Honest. Exactly.
That could be game quitting for somebody.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to blow it out of proportion because that's not me, but I mean, for somebody, absolutely, I could see somebody literally being so demoralized by seeing that number gone. Like that's like the only thing I do.
Yeah,
well, I see here kills like as a Titan or as a Hunter or as a Warlock, but where does it count how many times I've killed Warlocks? So that was really important to me. I was really proud of that stat. I was making it a better place, and I was showing it off to all my friends, and that's gone.
Why Warlocks? What we ever do?
Why not Warlocks?
We just flew off the map and kill ourselves.
Yeah.
So like I would be remiss to not talk about that. I personally think that was the biggest thing to talk about.
Yeah.
take it as you will. The seasonal format of a lot of people aren't really happy with like the bounty system for getting Warmind bits to upgrade the bunker. You know.
Yeah, bounties are weird because it feels like in Destiny 1, bounties were like kind of something you did while you're doing other stuff. Like it was like a extra activity. It wasn't even an activity. It was just kind of something you did. You went and got your bounties to make sure that while you were doing this activity, you received extra credit. That's what they felt like, extra credit. Now it feels like that's the main course. Like that's what we're going to be doing here for a while is just running bounty.
So what I did was I upgraded my bunker to the point where I could get Warmind bits from from completing activities. From completing activities, because like I'm going to be doing a bunch of stuff. I don't want to have to be constantly going get repeatable bounties, going and like just worrying about all that stuff. I'll go pick up the daily one, sure, but like going in and have to always constantly be doing that to upgrade everything. No, fuck that. I'd rather play other activities that I want to play.
Yeah. One thing that confused me big time.
I'm going to be doing a lot of PvP this season. I mean, like, I figured out real quick that my PvP-ness was pretty flaccid. It's been a while since I've been using that thing. And
you got to whip it out.
I don't want to say it. But...
Trials is coming up. It's like some practice needs to be put into the PvP.
I got real quick to unlocking that upgrade on the bunker that makes it so that you can earn bits and other activities. And that is so handy because I did nothing but play comp for about 6 hours today. And I ended that session with like 500 bits.
That's
amazing. It's just so good to come to the end of that and be like, oh, sick. I got that. I didn't do any bounties. I didn't go buy repeatable stuff, but I got like a nice chunk. I can get one of the major upgrades and a couple of small ones. Yeah.
So this was one of my quips or problems with the system. Like it was not very obvious to me that they upgrade vertically. Like I did the entire top row first because I thought I had to unlock the entire top row to then get to the second row, and that's not the case at all. So if you're just now listening to this and you haven't jumped into those,
go right. That's what you do.
Right. Like it's set up as a horizontal line, but that's not actually how you can upgrade the bottom ones. You just have to get the one that's vertically above it.
That system is really unclear. Like there should be a little more instruction in that whole situation. Like, how do you start upgrading this thing? What do you need to do specifically?
They kind of teach you that in the on ramp where it's like, okay, go into this menu, click this Valkyrie thing. Okay, great, I did that. What did I just do? Because after that, it's like, all right, you're good. Now go upgrade it more. It's like, what did I do again? Like the entire system is kind of convoluted. It's like I have to go get these Warmind bits and planetary materials and like I think Glimmer or something like that to upgrade each node. I have to go click on the right thing to even access this giant grid of stuff, click on a thing to upgrade it, and then you have every time you click on one of those, you get EDZ chipsets, and then the chipsets can be used to upgrade the vendor from the main vendor screen. And then once you have done that, then you get an engram. The engram gives you a piece of gear, but then there's also
another row.
There's a bottom row that you might have missed, and you also have to click that to fully upgrade the bunker.
You know, you're right. I don't understand how I could have misunderstood.
You gotta get your you gotta get your small biddies to make the big biddies to get the chipsets to get the upgrades.
Yes.
To prosper. Big biddies, little biddies.
And while you're in the middle of it, summon a heavy frame.
I was in there just clicking on stuff until something happened. I really had no idea what to do. Like I was literally just clicking around. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, very confusing.
I went into the other room and I asked my son, "Hey, did you figure this out yet?"
That's amazing.
Yeah, like the system is definitely not. It's not very apparent what you're supposed to do, and that's a complaint I've seen a lot on Twitter, Reddit. Just people saying, "I jumped back in this season, but I don't really know what to do with this Rasputin vendor thing. How like I don't understand. Do I just do bounties and then like just the entire process isn't particularly." Forward facing.
Mm-hmm.
He's like Rasputin's like some mastermind AI, but he keeps talking to me in Russian. Just say it in English where I speak, and then I'll know what to. He just growls at you while you're in the menu. Like, I'm trying, man. I don't know what that means.
Was terrifying.
Stop.
That is funny that we actually have a communication barrier with this like mastermind AI.
You're like, I don't know.
Understand.
Send your little buddy robots. Maybe they speak English.
Yeah.
There's got to be one of them. They're out there.
Print out a
collecting
transcript on one of those monitors.
That's right.
There's some more stuff going on in the TWAB as well. Bungie did kind of come out and say, hey, we've heard your feedback. We had a large change to emblems and stat trackers, which we'll be talking about later in the TWAB. We're also seeing some discussion on the new weapons of the season and lack of ritual weapons for Vanguard, Crucible, and Gambit. Team is currently reviewing and discussing the feedback, and we'll be looking to talk about our goals for weapons in a future TWAB. So they are hearing the feedback and they are addressing it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'll say one thing that I did see happen. People were like, oh, well, the perks look really bad that we're getting. There's no reload, damage, increase weapons. How can you be sunsetting our weapons and then not give us anything to replace it with? And I was like, don't you think that's kind of the point? So that they can make more interesting perks that you have to actually interact with the game with, so you can specify your build deeper than just go for the reload damage perk.
Yeah, outlaw rampage.
That's super boring.
Also, the sunsetting isn't even going to happen until it hasn't next September.
We don't even know when it's happening.
Yeah, it's not even confirmed when that's going to happen. So when they finally do that, that's when they're going to introduce those new things you're going to chase.
Yeah, and it's like I would prefer for this game, for me personally, I would prefer to have perks that are more specific for what I'm doing so I can create more interesting builds. I would prefer them to be more interesting perks than just kill thing, do more damage so that I could interact with the game in more interesting ways. So I'm all about them creating a different way of putting perks in the game that are more interesting and specific for the activities you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. The Destiny community has a strange dichotomy of when things don't change for a long time, we get really upset and we get really antsy and we're like, I'm doing the same thing over and over again. But then when we're faced with innovation and things that shake up the way that we're used to playing the game, we're like, no, what? Keep it the same. Keep it the same.
Do it how it was before. Come on, Jesus. Why would you change this?
So sometimes it's two different groups of people, but sometimes I think that's the same people too.
Sometimes it can be me if I'm being realistic. I mean, there's times I want change, but then when it happens, I'm resistant to, so you just kind of have to check yourself sometimes. But at the end of the day, I think you're right, Watts. I think letting them be more innovative is definitely the way to go, and having an experience that's refreshed and it forces you to shake up the way that you play. I think that's the two options, the better one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm all about a shooken up experience because I want things to evolve in the game personally.
Trials is coming back tomorrow.
No kidding. Really?
It's going to look a little different.
Brian, can I ask you, what is your highest power level at the moment?
Why do you ask? That's kind of a personal question, don't you think?
I want to know if you can shame Patrick with it or not.
Asking for your social security number. What the hell, man?
I don't think I can shame anybody because I hit 960. I'm like, Trials ready. I'm out.
You're going to get farmed.
Yikes.
What's everyone's highest power right now, actually? I'd be interested to know.
I think I'm 990 or just about 990.
Nice.
I've only been focusing on my hunter so far.
Oh, that's really good.
I'm just under that as well. I'm just under 990. But as soon as we finish here, I'm headed into doing all my pinnacle stuff with a group of guys. So I'm looking forward to that.
Nice.
I'm at 993 is my highest.
Nice.
I haven't played any comp yet. I have all of those drops to get, which are really, really, really good. I still have a couple powerfuls to do. I kind of was running out of time, so I was like, just do the pinnacles now. Do it now. We don't have time. So I could have definitely been a little bit more.
I don't think it's going to matter too much.
I don't think so. I think especially if you're hitting, like, you're around the 990 mark, I think you're probably good to go.
I mean, if you were using a 140 sniper and you went in under leveled, but you're probably going to be using a revoker. You're
going right over the revoker and hardlight, dude.
You're going to be
only
fine.
Ricochet shots with hardlight.
No one's even going to see you. You're just going to be shooting the corner. It's fine.
Great.
They can't
and go invis just in case they do actually come into
invis and just sit there spamming your hardlight. Invis, spam hardlight.
You saying I should go invis instead of golden gun?
Golden gun is bad in elimination. The only thing that it's good for really is to counter supers that are roamers.
Okay.
That don't have blocking options. So 2. Yeah. It's a good counter super, but offensively no. But arguably the top tree with the weighted throwing knives, those can kind of offset the weakness of the super because you can get some really nice picks. Just some Hail Marys. Like if you just throw a Hail Mary knife every round, every now and then you get hit one, and that's a pick. And that's pretty cool.
I have a clip. I have a clip on my channel. I was doing some comp. I got a full team sweep, one throwing knife.
Wait, you upload content to a channel? Where would people find that?
You can find me at twitch.tv/Holtzmann or on youtube.com/PKC Forte. Please, I'm sorry, it's not all the same thing. I made that YouTube channel before I was a content
creator. You like to shake it up when it comes to branding, right? Trailblazer.
I can't change it. It's diverse. It's diverse.
I think you can change that, Holtzmann.
No, I can't anymore.
Why?
I already changed it once because it used to just be my name.
Oh, you changed it to PKC Forte?
Yeah, it was my name. I was like, oh, I didn't want that. Google, here, I'm going to change to this. And that now, all right, you can't change it anymore. It's done. And that was like all before I was a content creator. So fuck me for using that channel. When I was
right. So how did you get a triple down with one knife?
I threw a knife and I hit a guy in the head. So I got my knife back. And I threw another one. Same knife.
Got it.
I hit the guy in the head.
The way you phrased that, it was like they all lined up and the knife went through the heads.
Exploding knife.
And I was like, what?
Can you imagine?
Have you had any
coincidentally
with the trip mine grenade?
I had one sticky, but it didn't kill him.
I stuck someone's toe. That was pretty funny.
I stuck a filthy warlock. It was great.
Yeah,
I
What's
did.
with you guys on warlocks?
Nothing, man. They're great. I love warlocks.
Yeah, we love warlocks.
They're the best. What do you have something against warlocks, TV? Jeez.
No, I'm their defender. I'm their public defender.
Public defender emblem. That's what I'm talking about.
Have you tried the Tommy's matchbook with Devour? That's pretty silly.
It's real good.
That's good. I haven't tried it because I have morals.
There are some changes coming to Trials. I want to talk about that a little bit.
Okay.
We're not getting the boon system from Destiny 1.
Are you in the Trials article, Briar? It's very exciting.
I am in the Trials article.
Yeah.
This is new to me. I have
no
idea.
Of Trials.
Here we go.
Same 14. I believe Same 14 wrote this.
Okay.
Maybe.
Straight from Same 14's typewriter.
Punched it.
So if you read any of it, you need to do it with the accent.
So the boons are gone from Destiny 1. Instead, what we're gonna get is what it sounds like is you're gonna unlock one of 5 cards. Like you're gonna choose a card, and those cards are gonna have specific attributes. So for instance, the Mercy card will have forgiveness. It forgives 1 loss per run. Ferocity will, with 0 losses, your 3rd win grants a bonus win. So it grants a bonus win after your 3rd win.
Okay.
Confidence grants a bonus reward from the flawless chest.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Wealth increased trials tokens from completing and winning trials matches.
And
wisdom grants bonus XP from trials wins, scaling the number of wins on a ticket. Scaling with the number of wins on a ticket.
Wow. Right?
So
that's pretty amazing.
So once you've gotten a ticket, you get to pick one of these cards, and that's it, right? You can't reset it. Or I mean, you can't change the card. I mean, you can't change. Is a card? Is that what it's called?
So here's my understanding.
Yeah. Passages.
You go to him.
Oh, passage.
You get your passage. Okay.
That's your ticket, right?
Yeah, and that's your ticket.
Yes.
And the thing is, this is going to do away with what turned into a meme with Trials. The whole back to the reef thing.
Yeah.
You're gonna have your passage. You get it from Saint, and you're good. I mean, you can run your full card. If you get kicked, you reset it, but you don't have to go back to the tower. This is the way it was explained to me. You just stick with whatever well, if you wanted to change the way your passage behaves and what internal boon it has, I think you might have to go back. But my understanding is that you get your passage and you're good to go. There's no back to the reef. If you lose 2 matches or 1 match, depending on what kind of passage you have, you just reset it and keep cranking, which is kind of nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it is kind of cool that you have some other options there, boon related. I think most people who are going to be, I don't know, not the top upper echelon, you know what I'm saying? They're probably going to stick with the Mercy, I would think.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to be all over that one.
And I think that's going to remain the more popular option. But once people have, got their flawless loot, you might see people start to shake it up after that. And, I really need to farm some XP so I can start doing my legendary or heroic events and whatnot a little bit more easily. Because I'm assuming that's going to apply to your season rank, right?
Yeah. This
and
is
your artifact level.
I really
Farm
like
and
this.
Trials.
Yeah, I like this whole concept of the wisdom one is awesome. Just really cool. Yeah, wealth, that's it's a great system to keep people interested in being in the playlist.
Yeah, that's what's smart about it, right? Is that it incentivizes people to stay in the playlist, keep trials populated. So there's more people to play against the trials. Trials is at its worst when there's nobody in there.
Yeah, definitely.
So it says only one passage can be purchased at a time, but players can switch them out when new ones unlock. So you have access to all of the...
Not initially.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, let's say you go flawless, okay? You have access to all 5 of these, correct? But you can only activate one at any given time?
Seems like, yeah.
Yeah. And if you want to swap it out, I think you got to go back. Would be my understanding. I could be wrong. Yeah. I would imagine you got to go back.
So you are able to say if you're like, oh, I'm going to go with the flawless loot one because I'm like super good and awesome, and then you get your ass kicked. Like, let me go back and get the mercy one.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a thing you can do. Okay.
Huh.
Or if you've already gone to the lighthouse,
friend,
maybe you want to just get the wisdom one where it's just XP and you're just earning XP for the rest of the weekend while you're helping your friends out.
That's right.
Nice.
There's also bounties. There's a weekly bounty, a daily bounty, and additional bounties. Daily bounties will reward XP, 15 Valor rank points, and 2 Trials tokens. Weekly bounties will reward XP, Glimmer, 35 Valor rank points, and 5 Trials tokens. And additional bounties will offer XP and 2 Trials tokens.
Cool.
Yep. So we got bounties, and you can get obviously loot from tokens.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah. You'll be able to actually just get the loot from State 14 as well with the tokens.
And your passage.
The tokens will go away on reset though. So don't save your tokens like week to week because they're going to disappear on the weekly reset.
Man, I was looking forward to having 10,000 tokens.
I still have a ton of Trials of the 9 ones.
Same. I got Trials of the 9 tokens sitting in my vault.
They're just there.
I have those? You see if I have some too.
For rewards are pretty interesting. At 3 wins, you get tier 2 powerful gear. At 5 wins, you get tier 3 powerful gear. And at 7 wins, you get pinnacle gear.
This is cool. I like that.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Those are good rewards.
Yeah.
What else? The glow. Did you guys see the glow?
Before that, it's going flawless on a trials passage will grant players access to the lighthouse, a reward space only available to players with a flawless passage. Players will get access to pinnacle gear from the flawless chest. So you can get 7 wins and have some losses and get that pinnacle reward. But if you go flawless, you get the 7-win pinnacle and the flawless lighthouse pinnacle.
Is there going to be a difference between chest gear and 7-win gear?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would imagine there's going to be specifically flawless loot. I would assume.
I hope so. That little line does make me concerned because they're saying pinnacle gear from the flawless chest. I'm like, pinnacle gear. I mean, I like pinnacle gear, but
it will
want
be trials pinnacle
flawless
gear. It was going to be trials flawless pinnacle gear.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's what it is. Flawless loot. That's pinnacle level.
Okay. Yeah. I hope so. And I'm going to assume
flawless chest, but it never says flawless like gear.
Let's assume it is, and then if it isn't, next week we'll bitch and moan. Okay.
Okay, I like that. That's a good idea. Too.
I don't think it's gonna. There's only one thing, truthfully, about Trials of the 9 that I'm gonna miss, and that's that like celestial horse that's in the flawless zone. Remember that?
Yeah. That was crazy.
Little sparkle pony out there.
Yeah, you jump in there, you'd be freaked out over the giant head, and you're like, Jesus! You turn away, and you're like, oh, sparkle.
You're like, I'm on something. I thought I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a trials engram. I think these tokens are gonna work the same as like other rep tokens. You're gonna turn them in and kind of build up the bar and get a trials engram from Saint 14. There's gonna be trials gear glows that you're gonna be able to equip. You're gonna be able to do a white one called Light for the Lost. Light makers wear this emblem when carrying other players to the lighthouse, and the flawless Imperium is red. Light breakers wear this emblem when trying to block players from getting to the lighthouse. So you'll be able to like reveal your intentions with the glow of your character in trials, which is kind of badass.
I do really like this. I think the way that I might use it is if I'm just running with buds and just having a good time, I might put the red one on to be like, well, listen, we're not carrying anyone here. We're just dicking around being silly. And then if I see someone with the white one, you can be like, oh, okay, I'll back out for you. But question.
Isn't everybody going to be wearing the white one if they're trying to go for the first time?
But this is the thing. No, you don't have the glow yet.
Oh, okay.
But can you not equip the I'm carrying someone one even if you are not carrying someone?
Oh, like you got 3 people who are all carrying.
And you're like, yeah, dude, we're totally trying to just
I'm carrying him. Yeah, I'm carrying him too.
First time flawless. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Which is they're embracing the gatekeeping, basically.
Yeah, they are. Interesting.
I think it's kind of cool.
You can't stop it, so you may as well give him something to, you know what I mean? I mean, as cheat, I don't know, as much shade as you might want to throw at people who gatekeep, if that's how they play the game and that's what they love to do, at least let them. I don't know.
Yeah.
You can't stop them from doing it.
As long as they're not DDoSing and as long as they're not hacking, like, go ahead.
Yeah, exactly.
Free for all, right? Yeah. Where's the emblem to track how much money I've paid for recovs?
That's on PayPal.
That's a good joke.
That's in the Bungie store. Yeah. That's the Bungie store.
What else do we want to talk about? Anything else in the TWAB?
I want to know what your loadouts are going to be for tomorrow.
Yeah.
What are you taking? So give me your subclass and your weapon loadout.
So I'll go first because I'm definitely curious about your guys' opinion on what subclass and all that. I'm obviously going to be a hunter. I am going to go weighted knife. TV, don't you give me that look. I swear to God.
Hey, y'all been dogging on Warlocks all night. Okay.
As we should. All right. So I'm going to go. My plan is to go the weighted knife Solar Hunter. And I'm definitely going to be rocking Revoker and Hard Lights. Because why not, right? That free bullet return when you miss a shot. And then my heavy, I don't care about because I hate heavy in PvP. So I don't even think about what heavy I use. I hope it just gets burned super quick. That's my plan.
All right. What exotic you running?
Oh, well, Hard Light. Oh, for the helmet?
Armor.
Yeah, good point. I always use, I'm going to be using the health cooldown. The health potion.
Worm husk. He uses worm husk.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah. I feel like Tufty's like, yeah, you know, just gives me like a little bit of health. It's not a big deal. It's just like
it's just a typical
I reach down. I just
hunter,
it's like a shot of insulin. I'm suddenly like, whew, I'm ready to go. You know, just, every time I dodge, insulin. I'm good.
I have a few loadouts that I've been looking at. One is Bastion with Last Perdition Pulse Rifle because Bastion like instantly destroys Titan barriers. They're just gone. You shoot it, poof, disappeared, gone
poof,
away.
It makes that sound.
Poof, poof. So if I come across a big heavy Titan team, I think I'm gonna want to whip that out. So if they try and get reses and put up the wall, they're not gonna be able to do that.
Bastion's so good. I love that.
And it's so good. Yeah, Bastion is just really, really good. Just really like Bastion. And then of course there's the Hard Light Revoker, but also Waking Vigil Revoker or Sunshot Revoker is another thing that I'm.
Did you get the new Sunshot ornament?
I do. Yes, I have.
So
yes,
cool.
I do. I haven't.
I haven't seen this yet. What is it?
It's like it looks like a Cabal gun. It's like like fire red, not just like kind of red. It's like Ferrari red. Yeah.
Ah, that's Briar's words right
like
there.
Some
Ferrari red.
Ball nodule thing on the bottom of it.
Yeah, I've seen this. Yeah, it's got the extra barrel thing on the bottom. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It looks real good.
Very cool.
Me personally, I'm going to be rolling into trials with I have like two or three loads. I have like the little tried and true Revoker or Shotgun, Not Forgotten / Recluse, and then like Wardenclyffe, whatever heavy. Yeah. You know, I the old school sweat loadout. I got a Le Monarch with Oathkeepers combo with a shotgun.
Okay.
It's a
good like support weapon. You know?
What shotgun?
It's good because like against sweaty players, they fucking hate that.
They really do. It's great.
It tilts them so hard. So
does Bastion actually. So this sounds great.
Yeah. So like like Le Monarch is just solid. I have a shotgun to go with it because
which shotgun, by the way? I'm curious for the kinetic.
I have a Dust Rock.
Dust Rock. Okay.
Dust Rock with rifled slide shot, Accurize, Rampage. I think.
Okay. Nice.
Nice.
It works. It works.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shotgun. And then I just the new classic Hard Light, and then insert weapon as special.
Just hard light and then whatever the
Hard
hell
light.
because it doesn't matter.
Just hard light and
Just hard light.
Yeah, I gotta get a kinetic shoddy to go with that hard light. Like you gotta do
Imperial Decree.
Yeah.
It's one of the best shotguns in the game, hands down.
And it's something you can farm very, very, very easily. So
okay. What class are you rocking, Holtz?
probably heavy knife hunter, because it just feels so good to just be like, fuck it, they've been going there every round, I'm just gonna throw this and sometimes it'll work.
Nice. It would have been so weird if you said a class that wasn't the heavy knife.
Yeah,
because when that came back,
I would have been very disappointed.
When that came back, we were like, well, clearly Holtz made this happen.
It's like, as much as I will say I'd had no part in those coming back, everyone will still probably say, oh,
you weren't dropping little notes.
We are aware that Patrick did the sticky trip mines and the knife. It's just the way it is.
Thank you, Patrick.
Known fact.
Not me, in fact.
How are you? What are you gonna go with?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm going Top Tree Dawnblade. Because I love it. Probably Transversive Steps. Because I love Warlock's Gate. And then for weapons, right now my main loadout is Revoker and Anonymous Autumn and a Deathbringer rocket launcher. That's
What's
like my go-to. Anonymous Autumn is a Crucible sidearm.
Oh yeah, I always delete that thing.
I have about 15,000 kills on it. I love.
What's the roll? What's the roll?
I have two. The one that I've been using more recently has moving target kill clip as well as a stability masterwork, and then I've got another one that focuses on range. It's got a little bit more of a reach. It's got rangefinder, range masterwork.
Nice.
Yeah, it's real tasty. So, and I also might I kind of flip those two and then do a kinetic sidearm. I love the Lonesome. I have a couple of Lonesomes I really like. And then Beloved.
Okay. Nice.
Patrick, do you have a racking ready to go?
I can.
Okay.
I can.
We may need a full racking squad. If it all goes
That
downhill.
could be fun, actually. That could be pretty fun.
I mean, 3 Rat Kings rolling around. That's going to be
toxic.
That could be
That
scary.
catalyst won't drop from me, man.
I had to farm, so I did the Nightfall with clan members, and we did Nokris. Killed him in like 5 minutes, and it took about an hour for it to drop.
Yeah.
Wow.
But that's what I had to do. I had to brute force it. It just didn't want to give it to me.
Oh, I have a catalyst.
Briar, what are you going with?
Geez, there's so many options available to me.
Whatever's the highest.
I really have not put any thought into this whatsoever. I've been listening to you guys go through your list. I'm like, that sounds good. Oh, that sounds good too.
Yeah.
Just use hard light, Briar. Just use hard light.
I plan on using hard light.
There you go.
There you go. Easy peasy.
You can really just use that, and you'll probably be okay.
What subclass you on?
I'll definitely be a hunter of some sort. I don't know.
Gonna say
Whatever I feel like
Nice.
playing that day.
Just me and all these hunters, man.
We'll have Fallout with us. He's a warlock.
He's a warlock. He'll be able to carry us because he's going to be running Top Tree Dawnblade because no one ever runs anything else.
Watts, did you say your subclass that you're rocking?
Probably. So I'm actually kind of undecided at the moment because the change to Kepri Sting is kind of fun in that smoke does 150% more damage. And I feel like no, but it makes it to where they can't see anything and I can just like tickle them and they're dead, basically. So that makes me want to run Middle Tree because then my smoke is like extra super deadly. And I feel like that might be really nice in situations where I'm in a 1v2 or even a 1v1 and you throw that down. I think it'll be really nice. So I want to kind of run Middle Tree for that, but I don't generally like Middle Tree that much. I like Top Tree, which smoke still does a bunch of damage. So, and it still works with Kepri Sting. So, yeah, one of those. Either middle or top Night Stalker.
Let's do some Twitter questions.
Is there anything else to go over? Is there anything else? Silence speaks.
Twitter questions.
We're good.
The new Hunter chess piece you can't equip it right now. It got
right. Yeah.
That literally dropped about 2 minutes before
mine dropped
right
right after they disabled it. And I was like,
Really?
Is that the one where it's like not like the
Storm
limited
Power
supers?
super kind of like you can cancel it and retain super energy.
I was so excited for this because I love Middle Tree Arcstrider. If I'm going to play Arcstrider or anything besides Night Stalker, that's what I'm going to play. I really enjoy that. But the super, you block like twice and your super's gone. So it just eats it up. So I was really looking forward to them doing something, either just buffing the guard or bringing in an exotic that helps with that. And they finally did it. And they added this cool thing where you can cancel it. And now I can't try it. So I'm sad.
Right.
It's fine. I'm sad. It's fine. I'm just sad. It's fine.
Sadness.
It's fine.
I wonder how they'll fix it.
I don't know. There's a thing where you can just infinitely guard. You can't hit people with the actual super and kill them at a certain point, but you can just infinitely guard.
Really?
So
Wow.
that could be bad in trials.
Yeah.
Do you know like how the glitch was happening? Like what people were doing to do it?
No.
I watched a video and now I've forgotten.
Okay. I'm sure chat will let us know and I'll be able to laugh at it.
You'll have insight.
All right. Bites asked, this question is for Holtzmann. How has Hot Topic been treating you?
It's really good experience. I had a great manager while I was there. I learned a lot.
Pick any sweet teas?
Yeah. I got this really cool Shadowkeep t-shirt. It's like got glow in the dark stuff on it.
Nice. Any like bracelets?
I was so confused when you said sweet teas. I thought you meant sweet tea.
Like Arizona?
It's like, has everything to do with freaking.
I always get my Arizona teas from Hot Topic.
I was get my sweet tea at Hot Topic.
Zagarian says, question for Holtz. How does Golden Gun subclass feel for you? Throwing knives, trip mines, stickies, etc.
Feels like we're back in D1, baby. Except throwing knives one shot. We traded trip mines one-shotting for throwing knives one-shotting.
True.
Yeah,
I'll take that trade.
That is true.
I have a quick gripe about the throwing knife.
Okay.
Because I'll be right next to somebody, and then the game decides that it's time to chuck the knife instead of lunge melee. And so I'm in the middle of doing a magic show, and then they just punch me. And I'm like, why did my character freaking lunge? And like just do the quick jab type of thing. I wish it was something that activated on like holding or literally a different hotkey. That'd be nice if I could do that.
A different hotkey, especially on PC, would be great.
Yeah, that'd be nice. But if I could just make it so I hold the button and then that's what activates the knife toss, that would be a life changer for that. Because that happens.
Yeah, I understand not doing that on console because you only got so many buttons on the damn thing. But on PC, I got plenty of extra buttons.
Yo, I got into
they're all over
keyboards recently. Oh my god. Briar. Can I
What's
come
that?
on side quest to just talk about mechanical keyboards?
Is this the first time that you just got a mechanical keyboard?
No, I've had mechanical keyboards. Like I've
What'd you
had them
get?
for a very long time, but like I've started to get into building them and like
Oh, shit, you're going down that rabbit hole.
I'm going down that
that's-
route.
okay,
I'm going
yeah,
into
that's
group
deep.
buys for stuff that's not going to exist. Like I am paying money and then just hoping it arrives to me in like 8 months that I am at the same address when they decide to start shipping this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like custom keycaps.
Yeah, like custom keycaps. I got the Cam
customizing the
Wraith
switches and the
the
boards.
Cam Wraith keycap set, which like it looks really cool. It's like a old school looking keycap set. I got some Holy Pandas from Master Drop. I think those ship out in like fucking July. The keycap's supposed to ship out in June. I'm currently eyeing a Monster Gear keyboard that's hot swap. I want to get into soldering my own keys to a keyboard, but I don't have the setup for that yet. So we're gonna go with hot swap
Soldering
for now.
as well.
Yeah, like
You get real nerdy about this stuff.
You can get like people.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, you buy key switches and then you like solder them to a board. You put keycaps. That's all it is. No, people are like, no, I like to actually take the stems from this type of keycap, put them into this other type, or I take the stems from this switch, put them to stems of this other switch, clip part of them off so it has like a better feel to it, lube them up with like this special type of. I only use this type of key switch lube, and then I can't use this other type. It's far inferior.
Oh yeah.
I'm just like,
Your aim's
this is
completely off
fascinating.
if you use that.
Please, I need to get into this. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of the Reddit, but I got briefly into like a mechanical keyboard Reddit subreddit.
There's a mechanical keyboard subreddit, mech group buys, mech market. There's a shit.
And I immediately unsubscribed to it because I'm like, oh, this is just not something I can do. Like, I don't want to.
I can't afford this. Let's put this in the drawer.
Yeah.
I while I was at Bungie, I purchased 2 mechanical keyboards to just like dip my toes in, see if I like it. I like it.
Nice.
Purchased a Mistel Baracco, which is like a keyboard that splits in half. And like ergonomic to like tilt your hands like this.
Oh, interesting.
A little nicer.
That's cool.
I got a Keychron K2, which is like a wireless keyboard, which is really nice because I can like have it paired to one thing via Bluetooth and then wired to another thing.
That is nice.
Swap it to something else. Kind of a low quality keyboard. Not really happy with it, but I discovered I didn't like linear switches because of that keyboard. So, I'm a little $70 mistake.
That's what sucks about keyboards is that there's so many different types of switches, but you can't really decide what you like until you've used it.
See, there's
expensive to figure out.
There's a thing called you can get a key switch tester, which is basically
that's not good enough. You need to be able to type on it. For
I know. Well, you can probably put on the switch and fryer. They're only like 60 cents per.
Yeah.
Just buy all the testers.
Is there any keyboards that like split in the middle, but also have a 10 key that you can split off?
Yeah. Actually, there's a shit ton. Like, name it, you can find it. You can get like a number pad that's a completely separate thing from it. There's a split key, like split ergo, split ortho linear. Like, there's anything.
Whenever I'm adding up my receipts at the end of the month, I always like the 10 key. Being all like,
you can get like a straight up number pad.
I want to feel like an accountant for like a day. It's great.
You can just buy it.
Just a day.
Just one day. That's it. I'm done.
Let's not get crazy.
AV of SoCal says, Holtz, will you be doing retroactive exotic reviews from the last 10 months?
Maybe.
Trick question. He's already had them done.
I wish. God, that would have been so fucking smart.
Just drop them all one day.
Yeah, just like dump them all. It's like, no, I totally did all this work in one day. It's fine. God, I wish I did that. No, I'm considering it. I probably will do it because you have to keep posting content to stay relevant on YouTube due to algorithms. So yeah, probably. I've made all the thumbnails. Actually, I've made all the thumbnails already.
Oh, really?
So,
nice.
Yeah.
Patch Echo says, without using any words, how excited are you guys for Trials returning tomorrow?
But that's a thumbs up from the brain.
Mr. Goodbite says, this was a last minute addition. He actually put this one in the Discord before we started the show. I've got a legit question I should have asked. You guys feel Bungie should be more clear on directions? No waypoints for Seraph changes, confusing requirements for bunker upgrades. Last season, you didn't know what quests were required for Bastion. Yes, I completely agree with this.
Yeah.
Like, we just need more clear instructions on
we were talking about that earlier about how like the Seraph upgrades are super confusing. The question though is this just a symptom of the fact that they're trying to put this content out every 3 months? So the cycle to be able to test that because designing something like that and actually seeing a user use it for the first time are 2 very different things, right? When you design it, it's like, well, this is clearly how it is, but for a new user, suddenly you're like, what the hell am I supposed to do? So is it a symptom of the cycle of these seasons?
True.
Yeah, a little bit of text would go a long way here,
I agree.
Well, they now have the text that's like, did you know you can follow Bungie for updates? And,
oh yeah, did you guys see that? Like when you're loading screens,
I keep spamming it. Like, go away.
I want to find like a super secret hidden one that's about cats from Cosmo.
I want them to actually expand on it and do like lore.
Yeah.
So they'll have little lore tidbits in there. And you're like, I didn't know that.
It would be sick if I could get like just a random lore passage.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Going.
Yeah.
Especially for console, right? You're loading for so long. You could read the whole lore book. Be great.
Yeah, you're right. Console definitely needs that.
D Flawless says, question for Holtz. What did it cost to make one hit throwing knives a reality? What did it cost?
Just how much gumbo did you have to bring?
Everything. The Mohian 9 says, if you only drink water out of your cup at your house, is it dirty?
No. I clean the lip off every now and then.
Yeah.
Clean the lip.
Out of principle, you gotta like clean it at least once in a while.
Yeah.
I feel like a cup lasts a day. I bring it down from the office into the kitchen and grab a new cup.
A day?
You can definitely go longer than a day.
You can go
You
longer
can.
than a day.
I don't know.
I got like 30 fucking cups down there. Doesn't really shut my ass too much to get a new cup. It's where the ice is too.
That's right.
You can go a few days.
John is at Paragon says, this one is for everyone. What is your team's loadout going to look like, and why is it 3 hard lights?
Yeah, we already said that.
We're going to kill the hard lights by running at them with Rat King. What if we all play invisible hunters? Or we just have someone who throws smoke to make us all invisible. And then we run at them with Rat King. They're going to die. I think if we're struggling with hard light, that's our play. That's our play.
I like it.
What's the map going to be? We know this already, right?
No. They have not said.
Okay.
If it's got to be Burning Shrine, right?
No, it's gonna be
they brought
either
back
Anomaly, Axis, Blue, or Cauldron.
I hope
they
so.
brought back all those. Yeah, they brought back all of those. So I feel like it's gonna be a mixture of all of them, honestly.
If I had to pick one, my guess would be Anomaly. I think that's sort of the crowd favorite of the 3.
Of course, a Warlock would say that
so much.
A Warlock main,
favorite of the 3.
always saying Anomaly, man. I'm annoyed over Anomaly. I'm gonna have to run a shotgun if that's the case, and that map just triggers me.
Imagine hard light on Anomaly though.
True.
You don't need a shotgun if you have 3 hard lights.
That's a good point.
I'm gonna be using the trick at shooting at their feet too, bouncing it off the ground.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, off the walls because there's so many walls to bounce.
Yeah. Fresh King says, I see a lot of people complaining about not enough PvE this season, but last season we had Sundial and that's it. This season we have the Tower event, the Bunker Clear, Legendary Lost Sectors, and upcoming Grandmaster Nightfall. So what's the problem?
Well, we like to complain,
Yeah,
For sure.
I mean, to be completely fair, like basically every single season has had a new PvP activity that is like its own separate thing, where it's like it's its own either matchmade or whatever type playlist.
Mm-hmm.
So like the fact that this one is basically like a public event, and it's basically repurposing. You know that thing that we keep saying, Bungie, repurpose what you have, reuse that, and then they did it, and we're like, there's nothing.
Yeah. I can see that for sure.
For me, it's
part
just
of the
to get so amped into going into a new season, see a couple of cutscenes, and then be confronted with the fact that, all right, it's time to go back to the same exact thing I was doing on Monday.
Yeah, I think with this season and this whole seasonal model in general, it's different than what we're used to with content drops. Back when, for example, a DLC dropped in Destiny 1 and right off the bat, day 1, instantly you get jumped into it. You get to go through a campaign, and then you can go straight into the strike playlist and play in a couple of new strikes that you can find. I mean, there was a lot of casual content that was front loaded.
Mm-hmm.
And with the seasonal model, it's more like, okay, so this week, this is the thing that you're going to be involving yourself in. But next week, it's going to be this. And then eventually you're going to level up. You're going to be doing these Grandmaster activities. And you're going to be trying to solo the heroic or the legendary lost sectors and stuff like that. And so it sort of strings you along. And so I understand that people, they see that right now as a lack of content. Even though the content, it might be the same amount of content, but it just kind of strings you along. So I'm certainly sympathetic to that personally, as somebody that doesn't like eat, sleep, and breathe PvE content. I like it because this week I got to do some new PvE stuff and it was cool and I spent some time there. Next week it's going to look a little bit different when I go back in and continue my grind,
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think it's necessarily a lack of content. It's just the content's allocated differently.
Yep. Yeah, it's also really tough to tell off of just a few days. Super tough to tell. You got to give it like a whole month at least. You got to have those Grandmaster Nightfalls unlock to really kind of measure what the seasonal PvE content looks like.
That's not how a hot take is made there, Tefty.
I know. It's like a cold take. Dang. Got a microwave that thing.
Kate Justin says, what character would you be cool with Destiny killing off next?
Tess Eververse.
Yeah, I mean that's the easy answer.
Right?
Killer. I would have said, I mean, if you took that off the table because that's the obvious answer, I would have said Zavala. But Zavala's cutscene was so badass that now I want to see what he's up to.
Why am I spacing on his name? The freaking one-armed man.
Asher.
Asher. Thank you.
You want to kill?
I wanted to say Ashton, but I was like, no, this is
Ashton on IO.
Ashton
Kutcher,
one-armed robot boy.
One-arm Ashton.
Oh man, all of his dialogue is freaking nails on a chalkboard to me.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to see him go though. I like when he gets. In fact, I'm sad that they don't use him more often to be like, this guy. You know, it's nice when he pops in. You're like, shut up, man.
Crotch steel man.
Yeah.
Kioma says Saint versus Osiris. Who would win the moderator battle?
The moderator battle.
Saint
like the announcer guy.
I'm gonna guess he means announcer, but I mean, we never heard Osiris do announcing, right?
Yeah, as far as announcers go, we gotta go with Saint 14. He's so much more animated, and
he is.
Yeah,
he's extra, you know.
He is. He's so funny. I love him. I'm so excited. That's something I'm really looking forward to at Trials is all of his voice lines. Like, what's he gonna say when you clutch around? What's he gonna say? He's gonna go nuts. He's gonna go.
I just want him to make pigeon noises. Just make a clutch.
Yeah, like Osiris is gonna take credit for your triple down or something. Be like,
you're welcome.
I taught you that, Guardian, in the future timeline bull crap, you know. Be like, screw you, Osiris, you know. Definitely Saint 14.
Yeah, it's definitely Saint 14. Salty Cheesy says DCP is one of my favorite podcasts. Do you have any favorite podcasts you could recommend?
Side Quest, DCP Side Quest.
That's right. Have you heard of Firing Range?
Yes, those are the best ones. I watched the Joe Rogan podcast, but that's pretty well known already. I can recommend that. That's great.
So this is completely different from gaming. There is a podcast called Song Exploder, and if you're into music, it's amazing because they'll take like a popular song, or not necessarily even a popular song, but they'll have the artist come on and explain the process of how they wrote the song and how it was recorded, and like
that sounds awesome.
They've also got the session files, so they'll even play snippets of what they're talking about. It's really cool. I love it.
I look forward to Radio Lab every week. It's one where I think it's an NPR podcast where they take a topic for the week and then they get experts in and like really deep dive and explore it. And it's a overly produced podcast, which can be a little bit annoying sometimes, but it's usually really informative and pretty entertaining.
What's the
I'm
one?
always really into true crime. So every now and then we'll listen to true crime, like stuff that's never been solved, and they just lay out all the details of the case to you. You get to like try and figure it out, kind of thing. Yeah.
There's really actually there's a YouTube channel called Jim Can't Swim, and he does amazing true crime stuff, like amazing stuff, to the point where YouTube deleted a bunch of his videos, so he made a Patreon. And it's $1 a month to be able to see all of his content. And he has like a really good like documentary voice. And what he does is he delves into like the interrogation tactics that they use a lot and the psychology behind the detectives of how they're approaching different cases. So that is really interesting. I can recommend that podcast.
Why did they delete his content?
Because he's talking about like murder and stuff. So they were like, this is not YouTube friendly.
We can't advertise Ford trucks.
But that true crime stuff is really popular right now. It's all over Netflix. It's all over HBO. It's all over Amazon. Like, why would YouTube like choose not to be part of that?
Yeah, it's silly because you can't
go into things we question YouTube about. There's a lot of things.
There's a certain thing that we're not going to mention that YouTube might not be happy about if we were to say. So
the thing that you might need to be informed about right now in order to like.
Yeah, that's fucked up, man.
It is.
Come on. Like, why would they do that? For anybody who doesn't know, if you talk about the current virus, your video is very likely.
Oof, we're done.
We're
lost now.
Whatever. Your content is very likely to get demonetized on YouTube and not be recommended to YouTube viewers, which is really fucked up because don't you want like to know about this right now? Like, why is YouTube like the gatekeeper of knowledge about a public health crisis?
Right. Yeah. So the counterpoint to that is that they're trying to prevent people from spreading misinformation, and they don't want monetized content spreading inaccurate things about those things. So they're trying to have
who makes that decision?
YouTube.
That's fucked. Why does some middle manager get to dictate what you see and the news that you hear? That's fucked, and we're letting it happen.
But at the same time, somebody can be like, have 1 million followers and say this virus came from aliens. And these aliens...
Then you're a dummy for subscribing to that channel.
If you believe it, then yeah.
Like,
I know, but that's what they're trying to prevent at the same... Like, I understand. I don't think it's right either, Briar. But they're not doing it just because they're like, screw content creators talking about current topics. You know, they're not doing it that way.
You know, this whole, like, the fact that YouTube has such a sway on our overall, like, kind of information, like, gathering at this point, and the fact that it's a privately run company is super concerning to me. Not to mention that all newspapers basically are privately run. And often by the same companies that run the TV station in your town.
I think it's Sinclair Broadcasting is like the network, or it's a company that owns a majority of the local news stations across the U.S. and like they just get sent scripts. Is what they're doing tonight. Every single news station. It's on that network.
Yeah. Hero Time, on a lighter note, Hero Time 39 says, you're the last Guardian standing. You need to res 1 member for the win. However, it's at a price. If you res Holtz, you have to eat 6 pounds of crawfish. If you res
6 pounds.
That's not much, right?
That's easy.
If you res Tefty, you have to shave your beard, and Watts has to shave her head. If you res Briar, you're forever in a drunken state. That's fucked up, Hero.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, I'm resin Briar.
Are we drunk like, you know, happy go lucky, having a fun time kind of drunk? I'm gonna say
like am I 2 beers deep or am I like 18 beers deep? But I mean, like resin Holtz is the way to go here. 6 pounds of crawfish.
Yeah, that's really
easy. Like,
nice
in all seriousness, most restaurants outside of like actually even in New Orleans, like if you're at a restaurant, you're ordering crawfish, you're usually getting in like 5 to 6 pound baskets. So
I'm in.
There you go.
Free serving a crawfish at a restaurant. Okay.
I'm gonna take the win and get a free dinner.
It's like appetizer, really.
All right. Liba Shioda says, how are you guys dealing with the pandemic? In Ireland, they've shut down all the schools, colleges, public meetings, etc. Seems like things will get worse before they get better.
Yeah.
In Connecticut, like nothing's really happened. There's really been nothing going on.
Do you have basketball games?
Yeah.
Do you do?
Not anymore.
Like high school.
Oh, even those?
The NBA is shut down.
Yeah, NBA, NCAA.
Yeah, we don't have professional sports in Connecticut.
Okay.
Is Connecticut
we
pretty
have to go to other states for that. We gotta either go up to Boston or down to New York.
I live. I'm in Seattle. I'm about a quarter mile away from the epicenter of the actual outbreak.
That seems like the worst place in the country right now.
I think New York took over recently, but Seattle is not far behind and was definitely like the top for a long time.
Yeah, when all this was building up, I was taking the bus, and I was like, okay, I'm paying attention to it. And like the last week of my contract at Bungie was real nerve-wracking taking the bus. Like on like Monday, I was sitting next to my coworker as we're taking the bus back, and there's just this woman that was just open mouth coughing, just like sitting there leaning back, spraying that shit everywhere. And we're like, this is it.
That's it.
This is how I go out.
Yeah, this is it.
You gotta say something, I'm not beyond it personally.
At that point, I was just like, okay, all right, man, I'm out of it. And then like that same day, went to go get some beer, grocery store, dude walking down the aisle, just walking, coughing, no attempt at covering. It's like, guys. So TLDR, I'm not leaving my house right now.
No.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it doesn't really cost you anything to be more cautious.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Yes.
You don't lose anything by taking it too seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of our approach right now. Like we're limiting our going out to eat time. Even the schools around here have started to cancel some of their like events and activities, so we miss out on. Like my wife's a little bummed. They're canceling the mother-son dance at the school, and because our boy's 6. But it is what it is, and it doesn't cost you anything to be more cautious. So that's kind of how we're approaching it.
But also, it's important. Like, don't freak out and panic over this stuff. Like, just because somebody's coughing doesn't mean that they've got this. Like there is
they've definitely got it.
Definitely.
You should probably put them down before nature runs its course.
You should pull out your 12 gauge and make sure that person doesn't spread it.
It's time for decisive action.
It's Seattle is schools are shut down, kids are taking online lessons, people are staying home from work, mandatory stay home from work. It's pretty crazy. And still, even like Amazon right now, hand sanitizer, can't find it. Doesn't exist. Go to the store, toilet paper, doesn't exist.
Oh my God. Yeah. Like
that's fucked up.
Yeah. Last week, my contractor left work early on, I think it was like Monday, so we could go.
Did you take some toilet paper home with you?
I should have. Fuck, dude. I only took one little small thing of hand sanitizer. Fuck.
Duo Shade says, recently a Twitch streamer gunned down his G Fuel live on stream. What energy product would you like to bust a cap at? Did you guys see this clip?
Yes.
No, like
guy at a desktop.
Yes.
He's playing with his like.
He accidentally fired his gun while he was streaming.
So stupid.
What an idiot.
And then you get all the people who are like, it's not a big deal.
It's a pretty big deal.
It's kind of a big deal.
I personally don't have firearms, to be honest, because this is exactly the kind of shit I'd be doing.
Well, it's just I just have questions when the first thing I see is like a can of beer, a shoe, and a firearm on the desk.
Let's
like,
do
this. Those are the 3 things that are sitting. When I'm gaming, it's like a glass of water, a phone, and for you, it's a shoe, a firearm, and a can of beer. Like, I question your approach to life in general.
Oh man, not me. I am hitting that subscribe button. I can't wait to see what happens next. And boy, was I rewarded.
And activate notifications. I don't want to miss a thing.
Did anything happen to that guy? Did he get suspended?
He got banned. Like,
oh, he got banned?
That was one of the quickest bans I've seen.
For like a day.
For
though,
a desk pop? That was an accidental desk pop.
Wasn't that just a day though?
Briar, the number one rule of firearms is there's no such thing as an accidental discharge. There is.
Oh, that's not true, my friend.
He doesn't even know anything. He didn't know anything about that gun. He was like, I took the bullets out. And it's like, you loaded. What are you talking about? You did the opposite.
Number 2 thing. Number 2
chambered
thing.
a round.
You treat a gun that it is always loaded.
Yeah. Gun safety. You can't be showing these children on Twitch like, oh yeah, here's me with my gun. So funny.
Frankly, I commend the gentleman, and I can't wait to see where he turns up next because I will be tuning in.
This is hilarious.
Say I ain't got money. He's got his bank account balance up in the corner. I'm just like, what?
Where can I sign up for this Patreon? Okay, so energy drink you'd like to bust a cap at? Anybody got a?
Are we sponsored by any? Just so I
no.
I don't drink energy drinks. I don't have any animosity towards an energy drink specifically.
Yeah.
I drink a lot of coffee.
Yeah. A lot of coffee.
I would definitely not shoot coffee.
I'm not shooting my bag of beans.
Guys, I think we're addicted to coffee.
I like it unleaded.
It's unlimited number.
We might be addicted to coffee.
No. Definitely not.
I don't know, but thanks for bringing this up because it was fun to talk about. ADP Newt says you get to bring to reality one vehicle from a video game to use for your daily commute or transit.
Oh my goodness.
So he says, for example, the Sparrow from Destiny, Ghost from Halo, Mario Kart. What do you choose? You're going to use this for this is going to be your primary vehicle.
It'd have to be a
primary
ghost. I mean, your sparrow, because like you summon
Sparrow
your
would be
sparrow,
good.
you summon it, and it
That's true.
materializes out of thin air.
That's
You
a
don't
good
need
point.
to
You don't have to park.
That's
Yeah.
a big deal.
It has to
You
be the
just
sparrow.
ride up. Zoop.
Katamari Damacy. I want that big round thing.
Oof. That's very destructive.
I'll have to park it.
I
Give me
think that thing
Epona.
parks itself.
Yeah, exactly.
Boy, a sparrow would be great. But have you ever
Mhm.
played Outrun?
No.
I don't think so.
Got the one
You
on
get
the
to drive a
the phone?
Ferrari, red one. We can make
Ferrari
Ferrari Fridays a reality.
Man, Briar, the infinite choices of any vehicle in any video game, and you pick something from fucking Forza, basically.
Yeah. Well, it's my daily driver. I mean,
right.
if it's raining or snowing, a ghost ain't gonna, or a sparrow.
I'm saying I don't have to do maintenance on the Katamari Damacy ball.
I'm thinking of that
You
too.
have to do maintenance on that Ferrari.
I think that is a high maintenance device.
It's not. It really isn't.
Lawsuits every direction.
What are they gonna do? I'll just run away with it.
There's like people.
The threat of the Katamari Damacy will keep people from suing me. It's fine.
Can I pick a dragon like from Skyrim? I just fly around on a
Panzer or
dragon.
Dragoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually
Got
just
missiles?
realized
It's a
I
good
could I could pick one of those Gundams from Nier Automata,
Ooh.
because that's technically a vehicle, right?
Gundam would be cool. One of the ones that transforms from a plane into a giant robot.
Yeah.
A transformer. You could have a transformer.
This is the answer.
Ooh, someone Kevin in chat just said Norman Reedus from Death Stranding. I think that one wins.
Ooh.
That is
No,
my
I
vehicle.
don't want to ride Norman Reedus. Sorry.
No, he just
it's not my
sits on his
kink.
back. He just carries me.
He's got pissnades.
Yeah.
Avalon says, if you were stranded on an island for a year but had the necessities,
Eat Briar.
what is the one non-necessity you
That's right.
We would eat Briar.
Eat Briar. Yay.
What was the question?
Just
What
go
was
with the
the
TV.
actual question
Just
there?
go with the
I-
TV. Just go with it.
Oh, I've been thinking
Patrick
about eating Briar
Underwood.
for a long time. Are you talking about? I'm
That's why he's
confused.
here. What are you talking about?
What was the question? I stopped listening.
What is the one non-necessity you would take on a desert island?
Non-necessity.
A
Briar.
solar-powered 3DS.
That'd be good.
Solar-powered 3DS. Is that what you said?
Bingo.
It's not a
That's
bad
pretty
answer.
good.
Whiskey.
I like it.
Nah, whiskey.
A
Like a
non-essential.
lifetime supply of
No. You got to take an entire
A solar-powered bottle of whiskey. Yeah,
you have to take
Yes.
the entire distillery, PV, because you can make anything.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, you can make anything in alcohol, basically.
The thing that turns salt water into whiskey. That device. Yeah. Everyone
I
knows
think
about
they
that.
call
water.
that God, but yeah.
God abilities. That's it. Non-essentials.
It's not essential.
I'll tell you, like, my house and my entire neighborhood. Just put it right on the island. Just boom.
Yeah, not essential. It's
Not
not
essential.
food, water, or
No,
no, that's it.
it's just convenient. That's all.
Patrick Underwood says, what are your thoughts on oatmeal raisin cookies and why are they the best?
Yes, they are. They're so good.
I do like them.
Yeah.
I
They
do
are
like
very
them.
good.
Scotchies, man. Oatmeal scotchies.
Oatmeal scotchies? What's that?
Yeah. What is that?
Do they have scotch in them?
Butterscotch.
Butter
Oatmeal
scotch.
cookies.
Sounds good too.
Butterscotch.
That sounds great. I
No
love
raisin,
butterscotch.
butterscotch, and that
It's just-
sounds delicious.
The pairing of oatmeal and raisin is really nice, but
It is.
I'd be willing to try that. The butterscotch.
See, The oatmeal
That's a
raisin.
diversion. I don't know if I'd commit though. You know,
The oatmeal raisin makes you feel like you're having a healthy choice for your snack.
Yeah.
If you throw butterscotch in there, it's definitely a treat. No, there's
Yeah,
no
you're
convincing
right,
yourself that this is not a treat.
You guys ever had the
That is
oatmeal raisin
true.
cookie from Jimmy John's?
I'm like, I'm having a healthy oatmeal cookie here.
Yeah, it's an
Don't-
oatmeal.
If
It's
you ever
oatmeal.
order
Don't mind the
oatmeal
pound of
raisin
sugar in
from
this
Jimmy John's,
cookie.
don't actually look at the calories on it.
Never.
Okay.
Never look at the calories on
Never.
it. It's
No.
it's horrifying.
Mechanized says, does Patrick baby bird his enemies in trials rather than teabag them?
I hope so. Oh, I hope so.
I need to go contact someone at Bungie. I need to pitch an emote.
Yes.
That is
Hugo
what we
Rune. Hugo Rune says, emergency question number 229. What is the strangest thing that you found in your cleavage, belly button, or anal cleft? What's an anal cleft? I don't actually know.
The crease.
I
where
just
you're-
means anywhere between the
You know how
cheeks,
like your
man.
buttocks like kind of like that.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
that whole area between the
Yeah,
cheeks?
it's that whole area.
I'm assuming that's what it is.
Okay. Jeez, I've never found anything that shouldn't be there, to be honest with you. Like, oh,
yeah.
what the fuck is this trombone doing in my anal cleft?
I don't think
There's always like the really long
Here's my
hair.
copy
that
of
you're
Super
like,
Mario World.
whose hair is this?
Yeah, it's like there's always like one
You always
really
reach
long
back
hair.
there and you're just like, wow, that's
I-
nice.
I had a
Hair
long
is this?
blonde
Jesus.
hair in my ass.
I wasn't gonna say anything, but now that Holtz brought it up, that is probably the strangest thing that I've ever been like.
Who is this? There's like,
Well, it's my wife's hair, but how did it get there? Is the question.
I mean,
I didn't
maybe.
live in this apartment when I had long hair. Why is this here? You know?
I don't know if we want to know the answer to that question.
This got weird.
Did you
question
wake
about
up?
anal clefts. Of course, it's gonna get weird.
Did you wake up not knowing how you got there, Holtz?
How I got that?
Yeah. Were you like suddenly awakened and being like, I don't know how I got here. Why is there this?
Man, I had the weirdest
long hair in
dream
my
last
ass?
night. So, like, my cat's been waking me up at like 4 a.m. every single day because we're trying to make him lose weight. He's a champion.
He's hungry.
He's lost 2 pounds, but he's really hungry at 4 a.m. So he's been waking us up. So I'm like, no, I'm not going to feed you. I'm going to feed you at 6 a.m. when I wake up. So I bought some earplugs to put in. You know how you have dreams where like you feel like your teeth are falling out?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Now imagine that, but in your ears. I kept imagining I was pulling out earplugs, but they kept coming out. It was like that stupid magic trick where the napkin keeps coming out of your wrist, but it was like that with earplugs for me. It was the oddest
Wow.
sensation. And like,
Wow.
yeah, I've never had that type of like weird nightmare thing. I can't wait to experience it again tonight. Just
That sounds
That
great.
happened to one of my friends. He got like those earbud tips stuck
Yeah.
so far in his ear that he had to go to a doctor to get them taken out.
Why did he shove a freaking ear tip in there? Jesus.
I don't know. I can't answer that question. Some things in life are just mysteries. Steffi.
It's not cleaning the ear, it's compacting the situation. That's strange. I've never had a dream where I felt like my teeth was falling out.
I've had that
Really?
dream.
No.
Never.
I
You
thought
guys
that was
are-
like everyone experiences.
Yeah,
those.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah, it's
that's
like,
a-
do you- do you
everyone
those-
does it.
Not
naked
me.
in public. There's a lot of ones you always get.
naked,
Yeah.
naked in public
Back to
one.
school ones.
Yeah, back
Why-
to school.
Oh, back
Why
to
am I in
school.
high
get
school
the-
again?
I
I don't
don't-
know what class I'm supposed to be at.
Yeah, that one. I get that one. I get the hey, it's the finals and you didn't go to class the entire semester. There you go. And it's like, wait, why do I care about this?
That
I
was
thought it
my
was an
reality,
adult.
to be honest.
I definitely actually did that one semester.
I definitely
Yeah.
get the like I'm running and I can't move.
Or
Yeah,
I'm
you can't
punching,
run.
but
I
it-
can't.
I
like,
need to run. And I
Paralyzed.
can't.
slow to do anything.
Yeah, and you're slow or yeah.
Yeah,
all
moving
that
through
stuff.
mud or something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, do you guys get
Hate
the
that.
one where you suddenly have to go back to high school and because and can it's like I keep getting this reoccurring dream where I have to go back to high school, but like no, you have to go to that specific high school that you went to. So you got to go back to Nashville for every single class, and you got to keep flying back and forth in between them.
No, I've
You
never
guys
had
get
that
that
specific dream.
No, not as-
No, I don't go back to Nashville now.
Can't say I have Holtz.
You actually have had the one where you have to go back to high school and you.
No. I was saying I can't say I have had that happen, nor the teeth thing.
Fenrir says, "What is your opinion on socks and Crocs?"
And man, if
So
you're
you know-
comfortable.
You know those Crocs where you can like people start decorating them, putting all those little badges on it.
Oh yeah,
That makes
You
it
can
look kinda
bedazzle
cute.
Crocs?
Yeah, it looks
oh
kind of
yeah.
cute.
That's
Bedazzle
like I thought
Crocs.
that was one of the main selling features early
I
on.
didn't know croc bedazzling
Mhm.
was a thing.
Yeah, they
Oh,
sold
yeah.
special like pins that went in those holes.
Is
Damn, I never
someone
wanted Crocs till now.
is someone on Etsy getting like mega rich from this?
Yeah, probably.
No,
right?
Crocs sold them like it was part of the deal with
Yeah,
Crocs.
but you know how it is. Like you don't want to get the brand version. You want like it's like the keyboard stuff. Why are you soldering your own keys? Because you don't want to actually come in from Logitech or something like that. This is your key that you soldered your keyboard.
If you're cold and you want to rock out your personalized bedazzled Crocs, so you want to wear some socks, go for it.
I probably
This is literally something I do all the time. In fact, right at this moment,
No way.
Can he actually bring it up?
He's got Crocs on. Do you have socks
those
on?
are Crocs. Oh yeah,
got his Crocs
it's cold,
on.
man. It's New England wintertime. I have socks and Crocs on.
I have never once considered owning Crocs before until I saw
They're like these
Deadpool.
like canvas ones, but they're Crocs.
Those look nice.
Is that a Croc?
Those aren't Crocs.
That's a Croc.
Those are fancy Crocs.
No, that's fancy.
Real fancy.
Real Crocs are ugly as hell and like made out of some weird
How
plastic.
dare you?
Rubberized plastic.
Yeah, they're rubberized plastic. Exactly. That's the Crocs experience. You're using some fancy. You're using gentrified Crocs, man. Not cool.
That's only because I wore out my old Crocs.
My problem with one, I don't know. My problem was like I would start walking them and they would always make like that.
Isn't that part of the
noise.
experience?
It's just it doesn't. You know, I wanted to try to.
I just want to be a squishy Croc.
I actually remember listening to a podcast, and
Huh?
they were started making fun of people wearing Crocs, and I was wearing Crocs at the time. I was like, "Oh, is the Croc thing over?" I really enjoyed the Croc thing.
So I've never owned a pair of Crocs, but when I saw Deadpool, I mean that really sold me. I still haven't, but I think about that all the time. Where he's like, "Oh, like the relief is so apparent of putting his feet in the Crocs."
Oh
Don't
yeah,
you have
Crocs
to
are the
wear Crocs
greatest
with
around the house
socks?
socks. No,
Because they're
you
like
can wear 'em
jelly.
barefoot.
You know,
I feel
They're
like
a little
you get
sticky.
sweat. Yeah.
Every time I've walked in, my feet are like just fucking sliding around inside them
So I
within
feel like
seconds.
sock Crocs are actually the way to go.
It's like a prerequisite.
I think that's the play.
I'm with socks in the winter and no socks in the summer, and I'm a happy boy.
Nice.
And the Mohican 9 says, I wouldn't leave the house in them, though, to be honest.
Wow.
Maybe if you're drunk enough, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's tons of shit I'll do. I'll do a Death Pop right now. The Mohican 9 says, if you only drink water out of your cup at your house. Oh, I already asked this question.
You did.
Drowsy Tone says, what would you rather drink? 15 pounds of blended crawfish or 15 pounds of blended pineapple pizza with Cheese Whiz?
Once you added the cheese, I was having an actual conundrum, but then you added the Cheese Whiz, and
Cheese Whiz is a killer for me. I really hate Cheese Whiz.
Yeah.
Then again,
yeah, I was
it too
rolling
far.
with it because I was like, this sounds like a kind of like a smoothie.
but
It
do I
sounds
want
like
a
it's got
crawdad
pineapple in
smoothie
it.
though?
Probably more than
Crawdad
you want
smoothie
the
sounds awful.
Cheese Whiz smoothie.
If it's just crawdads,
But it's
I
blended.
Just pour it
Yeah.
over. Literally, just pour it over some like.
mean,
No,
some
I think you have to
pasta or
drink this.
something.
No,
I mean,
no.
at some point, it is
It
basically
has to be in a
just
cup and you
crawdads.
have to drink
15
this.
pounds, True Vanguard.
That's a heck of a lot of pasta.
Yeah, I don't think you can make this a garnish or something. You have to actually have it in a cup and be like, I have to drink my
garnish.
smoothie now. God.
That's fine as long as I don't have to leave the toilet. From start to finish. Just sit down with a straw. Be like, here we go till it's over. Yeah.
Huh.
I gotta go crawfish, but I'm not happy about it.
Oh, I don't
Even
think I
as
can
a
do
crawfish
it.
lover, I'm also not going to be happy about that.
I don't think I could actually do the crawfish. I think it actually makes me gag thinking about that.
Both of them make me gag.
The pineapple pizza one makes me gag less.
I'm okay with the pineapple pizza until you add the Cheese Whiz.
I know
And
that
then
sounds
I'm like,
awful, but it's blended in a smoothie. A smoothie ends up like hiding it because they all
Dude,
get to
Cheese
know each
Whiz
other.
is a powerful taste. I'm
True.
It
sorry,
really is.
How much cheese whiz is being added?
Even the
What's the
smallest
ratio?
amount. Man.
It's
It's like
seriously.
liquid smoke.
Liquid smoke. Zachary Richin says, as a Utah man, and hearing the question about fry sauce last week, I thought I would let you know how to make some. Basic fry sauce is a half a cup of ketchup, 3/4 cup of mayo, mixed together with a teaspoon of relish.
Wow.
Delicious.
Will everyone try it?
Yeah, sounds great.
I would try it.
I'll try it.
What do you? I mean, it's called fry sauce. So are you dipping fries in it? Is that what it is? What are you using?
I'm not
this
going to
on?
dip a carrot in there.
It sounds really
So
similar
like
to
pickles,
Thousand Island dressing.
so relish is out, and yeah, I'm not a huge ketchup guy. The only thing I use ketchup in is like my homemade barbecue sauce. That's about it.
Oh, really? What's your
I'm not a
fry?
big mayo guy.
Yeah, I know the
What's-
mayo kills me too. But when it's mixed with something, I can like
Yeah,
trick my
I'm the
brain.
same.
I could be like,
That's
brain,
right.
it's okay. It's
That's
not
right.
actually mayo.
Yeah, I'm gonna need some more information, Zachary. I'm gonna need to know what I'm actually doing with
Literally
this.
gave you a recipe.
You're gonna put in some Crocs, and you can just stick your feet in it. All right.
Yeah, what are we eating with the fries?
We're gonna need some follow-up information. ADP Newt says you get to bring to reality one vehicle from. Oh, what is going on here? Like I repeated some of the questions.
Jesus,
That was the last question. Oh, my bad.
Finished it.
Oh,
Yeah, that was it.
Nice.
All right.
Climatic.
Awesome. I guess that's the show, right?
Yeah, we were cruising through those questions. I didn't realize how close I was to the end.
My God, fantastic.
Too much cruising.
Yeah, it's been a great show. I'm looking forward
It's been
to
amazing.
trials tomorrow.
Trials
Heck
tomorrow.
yeah.
Early morning trials.
I will
It's
not be
afternoon
waking
for
up
me.
early. Yeah, afternoon for me
But
too.
Hefty, maybe it's better in the morning.
Hope so.
And the world will never know.
Either way, I ain't getting up that early.
Oh, DP is going to be doing a trials race, right?
Yes.
So we'll be broadcasting that. We'll be covering all the channels that are in the race to the first of the lighthouse. That
Yeah.
should be a lot of fun. I think who's coming to that? I can't remember the list of people. I think it was it
Typhoon, Trav, Mav, and I think Blushes is there as well.
Bless
right?
this again. Great. That's
gonna
a
be a
good
great
group.
lineup.
I really hope so.
Yeah, that's going to be a ton of fun. So you could tune in here, and we'll be covering the race to the lighthouse, which
The
I
race
would
to the
imagine is going to be
lighthouse.
pretty quick, but we'll see. We'll see.
I imagine
Yeah.
a card's going to take an hour, right?
Depends on the map as well.
Yeah. A full flawless in D1, you if you didn't lose, your
If
mercy
you
or
just
anything, you
5-0'd
do
every
45
game.
minutes.
Yeah, I remember 45 minutes was like the average for like
Yeah.
a 5 mercy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wonder how it's going to feel tomorrow. Yeah.
I'm really excited. The changes look interesting. They intrigue me, like the different cards and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be an exciting day. I can't believe it's actually back.
Yeah.
Who would've thought?
Who would have thought?
Good stuff.
We really need that Mama Bird emote though. Just get on that.
That would be fantastic.
I want to see Patrick in game Mama Birding his
I know a
dead
guy.
enemies.
So Holtz, I know you said it earlier, but as we're signing off, where can people find what you're currently doing, where to follow you, all that stuff? And if somebody was interested in hiring you for some game development as well, like where would they reach out to you?
If you want to actually reach out to me for any game development stuff, please email me at askholtzman@gmail.com. There's 2 N's in Holtzman. Yeah, that's super not going to... Reach out to me on Twitter. Shit, there's 2 N's there as well. Holtzman_YT on Twitter. And you can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Holtzman. There's
2 N's.
2 N's.
Just remember there's
And
2
then
N's.
for a little curveball, if you want to see some YouTube content from me, because I am posting now again, just uploaded a video for Tommy's Matchbook. Feel free to go to youtube.com/PKCForte.
Awesome.
It's the letter P, the letter K, the letter C.
When'd you put
and
that out? I didn't see it in my sub feed.
Forte, Forte. Well, see, the great thing about the YouTube algorithm is I haven't posted in 10 months, so it's not going to notify you of me posting anything.
I was going to say, hey, new
Great.
stuff, but maybe
But he hasn't
not.
posted in a while. He's not committed enough to our platform.
Thank you, YouTube, for telling me what I want.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I press that subscribe button, I didn't actually want to see anything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
put a
a
subscribe button and hit the
suggestion.
bell. Mhm.
I was just
Yeah,
kidding.
you can find me at all those places. And if you can't, if for some reason you can't find me, any of these fine people on the podcast can probably point you in the right direction as well.
Or the wrong direction, which would be much more entertaining for me personally.
It would be. It would be. Like, hi. This is the president of president of Game Company. We simply have to have Holtzman on the line. Briar Rabbit. We couldn't get in contact with him, but he said you could probably point us. Can you
I
give
can
us
help.
contact information?
Here's a picture of a bacon baby.
Do you really want this employee? He has coated an entire baby in bacon.
Yes, we do want to hire.
Yes, that's what we want. That's exactly it.
That's great. TV, where can people find you, man?
Find me on Twitter, The True Vanguard. You can find me live streaming at truevanguard.com. You can find me on YouTube, The True Vanguard. There you go.
Nice.
Man, that's consistent.
Branding. Very consistent.
I'm Briar Rabbit. You can talk to me on Twitter at @TheBriarRabbit. I just posted a video up on YouTube about the Mister. So if you're interested in this like kind of open source retro gaming console called the Mister, it's about a 30-minute video. So it's pretty long, but it's pretty in depth. I got some gameplay in there as well. You can check out.
It's definitely a console.
Oh yeah.
Called the Mister. Yes.
Yes,
It's
Mr. Console.
It's Briar's Mister.
I didn't make this up. This isn't a thing that only exists in
Not
my head.
his strange Connecticut sex toy that's only known in his local area. This is real. It's a real console.
This is real. It exists. You can make this.
And I am Miss 5000 Watts. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. Miss 5000 Watts. Trials early morning with the Holtzmann, with the Fallout.
Awesome.
It's gonna be a good time.
And I am Tefty Teft. You can talk to me at Teft on Twitter. And you can catch my streams twitch.tv/Tefty Teft. I am looking forward to playing Trials. I'm also looking forward to seeing how the season unfolds. And I'm looking forward to Doom Eternal. Oh my God, Doom Eternal. Very excited about that. And all the stuff that's coming out. Also, if you're into music, my wife and I have been posting jams and stuff on our music channel. We've been slowly growing, which has been a lot of fun. If you go to search Tefty and Memes on YouTube, you can see that, us messing with electronic music, electronic gear and all that. So that's what I've been up to.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all the support, whether you're watching live or on YouTube or listening on Spotify or the podcast syndication places. Appreciate all the support on Patreon and also here on Twitch. And
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, quick note about Firing Range. Firing Range will be back next week. They're going to do that on Wednesday nights, and it's going to be a weekly podcast. So if you enjoyed the first one, there's more to come.
Yep.
I know that they're really excited to do it. They're actually bringing on Cami Cakes as well.
Yeah.
Nice.
So like that is going to be, if you like to get nerdy about Destiny, this is going to be your go-to podcast.
Yeah. Yeah. So we did have that first episode last Sunday. So if you were thinking that was going to happen again on Sunday, it's actually Wednesdays is when it's officially going to be happening on the weekly rotation. So
There we go.
You double dose of Destiny Wednesday and Thursday.
double deep nerdy
Double dose.
Destiny. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next
Thank
week.
you, everybody.
Appreciate it. Thank you guys. Bye.